Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the Cable Trash Podcast, episode 2. We're going to talk about puppetry today with special guest star Nesska. Uh, Introduce yourself, Nesska.
Oh, well, I now am a Twitch streamer. I go by Curious Harpy, but yeah, people can either call me Harpy or Nesska. I do a variety of I can't speak sometimes, but yeah, I stream a lot of video games, and yeah, my home base or my nest is at Twitch. You can call me at twitch.tv/curious_harpy.
All right, cool. Now we'll go for the rest of the people. Uh, Introduce yourself. We'll go from like top to bottom. So, Alex,
Yeah.
Alex 1.
Okay. Hey, I sound a little rough right now, but hey, I'm Alex Menace. I just go by that, Alex, whatever you want to be. And yeah, I'm here again.
I'm Alex too. I go by Alex Likes Toons on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I'm most active on Twitter and Twitch right now, and I will post YouTube videos whenever I get the chance to. Also, I do a lot of I do like celebrity impressions on Fiverr. Like if you want me to do like Arnold Schwarzenegger for someone's birthday, I'll do that.
Awesome.
Follow me on Fiverr. I will, and if you pay me an extra $1, I will send you pics of my feet. Thank you.
Oh,
Ooh. And
The guest
what a
too.
deal.
quality
We have-
content.
We have Nesska and Dan Schneider's guest. That's incredible.
That's incredible.
Yes. Oh my god.
I'll go next. I'm just your host, Cold Tuner. I'll just be in the background, like just listening to you guys. And we'll just move on to Pale. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Bill, or Pale Iguana. I do art, and I sleep, and you can follow me at the Aquatic Bunny at Twitter.
Alright. Shame no feet pics like Alex.
No, only goth feet.
Oh, those are the best kind.
Oh no.
Oh no. Make
They
sure
got
there's black nail polish.
Yes.
and rigor mortis.
There we go. All right. Let's just go to our first topic. So Hollow Solaire wanted to ask this one question about if animatronics. Actually, no. I'm getting ahead of myself. If is puppetry a form of animation? Too bad he's not here. I really want to know his input, but we'll start from the bottom up. So Pale, what do you think?
I would say it is, cause even though it's like semi, I mean, I'm bad with my words. Like, I would say yes, cause even though it's like, I guess robotic, you're still technically using stuff from like the traditional puppetry and stuff. It's just like you're mixing two things at the time.
Yeah.
Sort of like with
You're getting ahead of yourself. It's the puppetry is considered animation, not the animatronic ones.
I'm tired. Okay, I would say it is because it uses puppetry.
All right.
And yes.
Like in terms of I consider like puppetry does share like a lot of DNA with animation, and it goes really well with animation, but I've always seen it as more of like in line with something like live performance, because like there's like a lot of like bleed over between like puppetry and costumes.
Interesting. In my opinion, I wouldn't consider it as animation. Even though you're technically animating some sort of like lifeless corpse to dance and sing and whatever and act. I feel like it just like what Alex said, like it's a live performance, where you don't actually have to. There's like a completely a lack of setup, I guess. You know how animation you kind of have to go through a whole bunch of steps to get like a really good finished product at the end. While puppetry, you still have to go through a bunch of steps just to get like a good puppet to go to. But it's so easy to just implement and work with, regardless.
Yeah.
Uh, they I could just put googly eyes on a sock and
Yeah.
just make a show already. Uh, it's
Oh yeah, you could.
it's that simple. While
That was.
animating, I I have to go painstakingly frame by frame what
Yeah.
I want to do. But yeah,
That because that was something they did for like Potter Puppet Pals. When they made like instead of making a puppet for Neville, they just put a potato on a stick and drew a face on it,
Huh. Potato.
and it worked surprisingly well.
all right, we'll move
I
on.
think I think when it comes to puppetry and animation, I don't. It's very much a gray area in the sense of like, okay, so if anybody who decides, like as you said, put your hand in a sock puppet, so are you like a for like, is that like a professional animation? Is that like a like, is that animation in general? And yes, of course, animation, if you think about it, is like the illusion of bringing something to life, making something feel alive. And sure, you are uh it is an art form of puppetry when it comes to like bigger puppets where you have more than one person controlling a singular puppet. I just think it's more of I would say, like, yes, it's I don't think it's animation. Animation in the sense of bringing that illusion to life, you know, like as if like doing a drawing and making that feel real. Um I like to consider it it's more like live action, and just in the sense that that it is in the middle ground when it comes to like it's live action because it is live action. But then you start getting it, like I feel like then you start muddying the waters when it comes to like puppet, like stop motions, because those are actual like little puppet figures that somebody goes and moves and creates that illusion of life to like for example like with the Leica films and stuff like that.
It's almost
um
like it goes on a spectrum with how far away it is from live action or how close it is to animation.
yeah, like puppetry in general, like for example a good I think I love it with like for example Dark Crystal: The Age of Resistance. They wanted to make that animated, but to animated or CG if I'm not mistaken, but they wanted to go ahead and honor the original and you know Jim Henson and all that stuff by leaving it as puppets but using CG to, like for example, make the Skeksis tongues look like they're actually, you know, like they're
Well,
actually forming words and stuff like that, like
yeah,
giving them that extra creepy feature. And see, and in the Age of Resistance, that does bleed and blend stuff. I don't know, I feel puppetry is a good middle area it's a good bridge between live action and puppets kind of deal. I mean, live action and animation.
right.
But I really do think puppetry is special in its own art form. That it's not animation in the sense of like, you know, bringing
Yeah,
a
because
stop motion puppet to life. Hmm.
there's just so many different ways that you can like do puppetry.
And besides, in doing puppetry, it's easier to go ahead and do uh and bring to life than rather like for example like Leica Studios, how they have like Leica Studios, or even like I forget his name, but he's a YouTuber that like does stop motion with his hands and stuff like that, or not stop motion, but he does puppetry
Oh
with
yeah,
his
Barnaby
hands.
Dixon.
Yeah, like him, like
He's
he's really
cool.
cool. And see, and with him I like to see him, and he's like not like making them animated, but he's doing things to make them look like they're their own things kind of deal. I don't know how to put it into words, but I like to think that that when it comes to animation, puppetry isn't animation. It's its
Right?
own beast, it's its own entity. And with that being said, it's got a strong foothold, being able to
Yeah.
hold up on its own, whether it be
But
like live stage performances, like for example Avenue Q, or you know movies in general.
oh yeah. Well, that was cause you bringing up like just giving a character life from just move, cause they always that's one of the things I remember them saying all the time. It's like oh yeah, animators are performers because they have to, cause they'll often like record themselves acting out physical performances, so they have like a reference to go off of.
Hmm.
So it kind of like it's sort of like that same idea of like giving a character life through like you with like physical or giving it some sort of physicality, but kind of like skipping, like getting rid of the middleman and just directly doing it.
Yeah, well, with puppets, they're stationary. Depending, I mean, yes, there are some puppets where you have mechanics in the in its face to go ahead and like make it blink its eyes or give off
Yeah.
that or like for example Kermit the Frog, Kermit the Frog. He is the epitome of like he is just nothing but like a simple like open and close kind of mouth puppet, but with the way that Jim Henson was able to like scrunch his face to give him that like look
Yeah.
of like to give him more expressions than if you were just to just not think of it. Like he like I admire him because he thinks outside the box all the time, every time. And but see, like as you were saying, like with, for example, the Into the Spider-Verse house, how or just in general, a lot of animators they have to use themselves as references. When it comes to puppets, they're even though you can give them an aspect of life, they're always stuck in that middle ground of like, yes, you understand they're puppets, but and you can get their reactions, but when it comes to animation, like that's the epitome of like bringing something to life, because you have to get those facial features to like maybe like get more in touch with your audience, like if there's a certain way that like a facial feature happens whenever you're sad or disgusted, like that helps sell the performance a lot more than if you're trying to do that with the puppet. With the puppet, you can only do so much. You're very limited, but also you do have a lot more to go. Like you're more open to give a better story than rather if you had like just regular people. Like it's a lot easier to like immerse people into that fictional world if you use puppets or you know like give
Yeah.
those. I don't know how to put it into perfect words, but to answer the question and not get off topic, but yeah, I think puppetry is not animation, but it is its own beast, and it is its own art form that it has its own legs that it can stand on.
Yeah.
Understandable. That was pretty in depth anyway. We'll continue on. Alex too. I know you already said a bunch of stuff, but you got anything else to add?
Um, One thing that like going off of like the whole like Kermit scrunching his mouth, that's one thing that I've tended to notice with like all the best sort of like puppetry stuff. It's like there's all these like little, because like one thing that I always like go back to was when is Ubi, how like that was based off of like an exercise that like trainers at like the Jim Henson workshop would do, where they would have to like talk using their hand, but they couldn't move their other fingers. They could only move their thumb to talk. And that's something that I never really thought about and never really noticed until it was brought to my attention. And now that I know about it, it's something that like when people aren't doing it, you really notice it, because in real life, like when people talk, their head doesn't go up; it's their chin that goes down. And just like that subtle difference, there's like all these like really subtle cues that really make a puppet performance feel sort of lifelike and grounded.
You're absolutely right. All great points. How about you, Alex? Alex the Menace.
Okay. So the funny thing is that even before I looked at the discussions here today, I was actually going to talk about this because I actually made like a long like 2 years, 2.5 years ago, I made like a post about this on another server I mod for.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna try to kind of read that word for word and maybe change it up a little bit so it sounds natural. I don't think puppetry is animation, and the reason for that is because by definition, animation is giving the illusion of movement to something that isn't actually moving. The Lion King or like Snow White, it's just a bunch of still drawings, but put together in a sequence to give the illusion of movement in life. Like taking pictures of them, frame by frame. Nightmare Before Christmas, or I like a film. It's just a bunch of pictures of like still figures, but with film, like they look like they're actually moving on their own, despite that someone moving them frame by frame behind the scenes. But it's still like a bunch of pictures strung together in a film. And Toy Story or Shrek or whatever is like all programming, but they are moved again also frame by frame. None of those character models move on their own for real. You need someone to design and make everything, and then program them to move them, and then in sequence you get movement. Although I'm not really an expert on how computer animation works, so someone could probably debunk what I'm saying, but in the case of puppetry, it's just like a person moving them, like in real time. like it's still the illusion of like something is moving on its own that's not or something's alive that's actually not alive. But unlike with stop motion or whatever, they are still moving in real time. Like you can't like you can show like Kermit the Frog moving on his own to like a group of people, like in the movies or the shows or whatever, and he's still you can still make him move and do what he does normally, but you can't really do that with like a figure of Coraline. If you want her to like talk and run, you can't do that with Coraline. To show that in real time to someone, or again uh, like a cartoon, like I don't know, like Steven Universe. If you wanted him to move for people like in real time on the spot, you can't do that. Same with like the characters of Spider Verse, uh, versus Kermit. Or someone else, you can do that, and I don't know. I just because like I still think it's I'm not saying that as like a negative thing. I'm just saying I'm iffy on it. Like I get why people think that, but uh, I personally don't think that. It's kind of be the equivalent of if there was a Godzilla movie and everyone was like wearing rubber monster suits the whole time. Like, does that make it like an animated film? Because it's all it's all like suits and
Yeah,
costumes and puppetry.
that's true.
Um, or
That
if
is
I
a
were to
puppet with a costume for the hand.
That's a good point.
yeah, or like in Kubo and the Two Strings or something, like if it was remade but with a crew of people, but instead of like frame by frame moving them, they were just you just kind of shook them around like that. What's that Nickelodeon show with like the superhero action league or whatever, like the toys, like you
Oh
just kind
yeah.
of move.
Now,
Yeah, yeah. It kind of be like if I did that with like Kubo and the two string characters, does that still make it stop motion, or is that just that's a completely different thing now? Um, it it's uh yeah, that's kind of the basic long point. I don't know if it made sense with my examples or anything, but
No,
I still it's obviously still an art form, and it's very underappreciated actually compared to like other stuff, because people kind of tend to look at it as like aha, funny puppets move or something, but um I don't personally think it's animation.
okay,
Yeah.
but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Alex. We don't have to make sense. Okay, we're just talking here.
Okay, just making sure you guys got what I'm talking about, but okay.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it.
Because it seems like really I hate to like dismiss it as being like as like or like because that's not even like a condemnation of it. It's just like yeah, it's not animation. It's just its own thing, and that's fine.
All right, great. Anyone wants to add in like anything else that you want to add, or we just move on to the next thing?
I just shut down the convo. I brought the facts and knowledge, and I shut down the debate.
Mic dropped.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding, but yeah, I was
All right.
ready. I was ready
When
for
are
this
you
very
liberals gonna
specific.
see that puppets aren't animation?
All right. So we'll just move on to the next question that Hollister I think it was Hollister that asked this. Is the animatronics are animatronics
No, that was
considered?
me.
Oh, that was Phil.
Okay,
Okay, my
well,
bad.
okay, well,
Are
I just
animatronics?
realized. Okay, so I just realized what you meant by earlier. I was like, huh? I was like, oh my. Okay, my brain was thinking animatronics when you said animation. I'm just like, oh, now I look stupid.
It's okay. We
I
all
really have. Oh,
it's okay.
I have
We're all
nothing to
kind of
add.
stupid.
We're all dumb. Okay,
Uh,
it's fine.
no, I'm just. Um, I don't have anything to add. Um, in terms of the animatronics, um, uh, I didn't write a lot because I'm like, I half-assed my stuff. Because I got a lot of stuff going on. But, yeah.
Did you like the Stitch?
Yes, Stitch good. Stitch animatronic good.
He's got a ukulele and his little Hawaiian
Yeah,
shirt. He's so
yeah.
handsome.
Handsome boy.
Yeah,
My
they did
son.
a for those unaware, they did in Tokyo Disney. There's a version of the Tiki Room that has Stitch in it,
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
and he pops out of the floor and he's got like a little Hawaiian shirt and ukulele, and they sing like the theme song from Lilo and Stitch the series. Is good.
The series and the
oh,
one in the
that's
movie.
cute.
Yeah,
Anyway,
like in the queue, like his little ship is crash landed in front of the Tiki Room. There's like little blue paw prints on like the wall.
Yeah.
oh, that's cute. Anyway, try to move on to that one question. We'll start with Alex the Menace. Like, what do you think about animatronics being form of
Form of
puppets?
puppets. I think they are. I mean they're just a little. I mean, because but it kind of follows the same definitions that I was kind of describing. Like with you can make it move. Like you've ever seen like the behind the scenes of like Jurassic Park or something, and you look at the animatronics, like they do move. Like there is someone controlling them with like a lot of controls and like buttons and whatever.
Yeah.
But you can see it moving in real time, sort of thing. Like it's basically just a giant puppet that needs like hydraulics and
Oh
other stuff to
yes.
move it because it's like
Yeah.
Mhm.
huge. Like you can't move. I mean, and even then, like
Like
with
the rain scene for Rexy and
yeah,
Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like constantly shut like
Yeah, it's shuttered in the rain
yeah,
because
shuddered
yeah,
in the rain
because
because
it
because
wasn't
yeah.
built to take on that much extra weight with the rings. It soaked it all up, and they had to like every
Mhm.
5 minutes like stop
Towel her
filming
down.
and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's insane.
yeah,
Especially like for something
or
that was
even
that had to have been that expensive.
yeah, or even just like the raptors again in the first movie. Sometimes all you see is like their feet, and it's really just the actors and like
Yeah,
these costumes moving around and walking in them, and it's like it's all
they
considered
shot it like
it's all
they would
considered
shoot like
animatronics.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, wait. So the question, if I remember correctly, looking back
it's
at the
like
thing, is animatronics considered a form of puppets? Of course, they're just
Yeah,
mechanical puppets. Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. That's the point I was
they're
trying to make
controlled
there.
by
Yeah,
mhm.
you're
robot
con-
hands instead of human ones.
Yeah, well, the thing is with animatronics is like is yeah, they are a form of puppetry, whether it's, you know, they're on a loop to, like, for example, like perfect example, when you go to a theme park and you go to like River Adventure, which is another Jurassic Park, well, it's the Jurassic Park right there. um there's animatronics that are there, and yeah, sure, they're on a loop. Maybe it's not somebody in a costume coming, in a giant a fucking brachiosaurus costume or anything, but yeah, no, it's a form of puppetry
Yeah,
of like, mimicking that life. And yeah, sometimes, when
I mean they
technology
could.
gets better, it does look a little worse, but I mean, hey, it's still a
Yeah,
form of
I
puppet.
mean hypothetically they could have them be controlled by people, but it's just more efficient to have robots do it.
I mean, even then, sometimes they do like I said, the raptor or in like the first two Terminator movies, like sometimes like the robot, like there's a part where it's just Arnold like getting shot at, but it's really just like a puppet and someone's like moving him underneath. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's I think I think it's definitely puppetry. It's just because it tends to use more machines and stuff rather than like hand controlling them. It's.
There's a lot of like really cool bits of like animatronic stuff in like a lot of like later Jim Henson stuff like Fraggle Rock and Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like I love I like how they animate the doozers.
Okay, well, there was a good what was it, I saw this, and there was a good debate on, well, what's the difference between a robot and animatronics.
depends on the code,
I think it
or
depends how
Well,
it's
or it
used, really.
depends on its purpose as well. Yeah.
It
yeah,
depends on what
I
kind of
feel.
sci-fi movie you're making.
Well, see, the thing is, well, the thing is that I feel like when it comes to animatronics, sure, you can go ahead and be like, well, it's not a puppet, it's a robot. It's okay. Okay, you're wrong. You're not wrong, but when it like, it's got its purpose in being, it's a puppet of a robotic dinosaur, or it's a robotic dinosaur, sure, but its purpose is to mimic that animal behavior. Or if it's a human, or like maybe it's Kermit who's now an animatronic, its purpose is to mimic that life of something,
Yeah,
as opposed to like a robot has its coding and has its purpose of, cleaning, like being a Roomba and cleaning up your mess after you drop
yeah.
your fruit crumbs on the floor.
Robots are like meant specifically for practical application.
As animatronics are meant to simulate simulate life, in the sense of, this is a dinosaur. This is the closest
Yeah.
you're gonna get to a dinosaur.
Yep.
But yeah.
Man, who was next? Alex two, right? Or
Yeah.
do you already said your thoughts on
Um,
this?
I I think I may have, but I will mention one thing. There's this one if anyone watching this, I would highly recommend looking this up. If you look up the Beauty and the Beast animatronics from like the new ride that opened up at Tokyo Disney, they look
Gorgeous.
unreal. Yeah,
They
there's
look.
this.
Yes.
There's like this one of like that's like Belle holding up a lantern and like looking around, and it looks like a cartoon character came into the real world. It doesn't look real.
Just saying, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was ahead of its time, and holy crap, like, oh my gosh, so like gorgeous. I saw that. That was amazing. See, that's why I personally love theme parks, because that shit's very immersive.
Yeah, it's insane how they like because that's one of the cool to get off track. Like it's cool because they write a story and it's like you're writing a story that's going to be observed from like every conceivable angle in a physical space.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's really cool.
All right, cool. Nesska already said like most of her thoughts. Unless you want to add another thing, I'll take that as a no. I'll
Free the Universal Studios Robo Oasis alien.
Yes, where is our son? Oh my gosh, can't
He-
believe the conspiracy theory
he-
behind him.
he doesn't
They
exist.
got him locked
Okay,
up. He didn't do nothing to
You got-
nobody.
you gotta move on. He doesn't exist. Okay, I
He
work
doesn't
at.
exist.
My thoughts are more or less the same as you guys. It's just they're puppets, but optimized puppets to just go on a loop, and people don't have to just stand in one place for hours at a time to do the same motion over and over again.
Yeah.
How about you, pal? Anything else to add?
Yeah, not as much. Hold on. My notes. Okay. No, it's pretty much the same thing with it's like a puppet. It's a form of puppetry, cause it same thing. It's supposed to like, it's still like manipulated by a puppeteer in some form or way, even like with some controls, or they still have to go in there and like, mess around with the limbs and stuff, and stimulate it.
All right, cool. Time to just
Now
move on.
Now let's talk about real art. Let's talk about Mr. Meaty.
No, not yet. Later. We'll get to it. Next topic: the general likes and dislikes. I guess we'll go with. I guess both at
Pale.
the same time. Yeah, we pale.
Oh,
So
it's like more like a neutral. I put it in the notes. It's pretty much just like similar to stop motion, where it takes a while to master. It just depends on the type of puppets they use. It just takes a while to adjust to the movements and like when y'all were mentioning earlier about with the hand movement and stuff and yes.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
bad with words.
bad for words. Everyone's bad
Words.
for words.
I'm more of an action person.
I
My
guess.
hands are doing some really crazy stuff right now.
Anything else to add, Phil?
No.
All right. I guess I just move on to myself. Likes and dislikes. I generally like puppetry. I feel like it's one of those art forms that they can get really expressive, like really exaggerate on the scenery they're at, without feeling super hammy, unlike actors. Uh, and
Yeah.
yeah. General dislikes. I like the only dislike. I don't really dislike anything on puppetry. The only thing I have is just when I was a kid, I got reoccurring nightmares about Big Bird.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh no.
Big Bird, Big Bird's nice. Big Bird's friend.
Big Bird
But he's
drag,
big.
Big Bird
You got
dragging
him.
me to hell, man. Yeah,
Oh,
horrible, horrible nightmares. And
His hands just pop out of the train tracks like in Drag Me to Hell.
exactly. That's like the only dislike, but that's just nightmares. I have nothing against Big Bird himself.
As a
Wait.
person,
I don't know. I feel like this is a lot of Big Bird hate. Just saying.
I'm sure Big Bird's a nice guy in real
Wait.
life.
Wait, Tuner, is the Big Bird you saw in your nightmares, look in the chat, is it kind of like this, like where it's like the Dr. Manhattan meme of Big Bird, where he's like, I'm tired of this street, these
What?
children.
Kicks in the door.
That's pretty funny, but no, it was just regular Big Bird. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's funny. Or when he kicks down that video where he just kicks down the door really violently and just
Yeah.
stands there.
I love that video.
That's a great video.
He's so tall. That's what makes him kind of. I get why he's scary to people. He's like 10 feet tall. He's really intimidating
Yeah, he's
physically.
Oh,
Big
what about the
boy.
Teletubbies? The Teletubbies, when you look at them compared in like
Oh,
actual
yeah.
size, those guys are ginormous. And I didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
that the
Oh my
rabbits
God.
they
Yeah,
had were.
Yeah, we didn't
didn't
write
know-
them down.
Yeah, they
Why?
were big boys.
They're big boys.
Yeah, and the rabbits that they had in their little rabbit island thing was were Flemish giants. Those are ginormous bunnies.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dang.
It's like you got 4 aliens and a suck boy.
The big suck.
And they eat mashed potatoes.
All right. Well, what about you, Nesska? Likes and dislikes
Likes and dislikes of what?
of
Like,
puppetry
just-
in general.
In general, I love all puppets. I think they're all freaking hilarious. Like even ones that I'm like, I guess like I'm getting ahead of the game of our game plan of what we're talking about today. But like for example, like some of the puppets in Happy Time Murders, and like some of them just like, they're all right, I guess, or whatever. There was actually a
Yeah.
puppet in the Happy Time Murders that made me think it was I forgot what his name was, but there was this one rabbit puppet that I was like, is that that guy? Is that supposed to be a reference to him? Or like, okay, no, actually, hold on. I will say I watched Meet the Feebles. Holy crap, that is like the craziest puppet shit I have ever seen. And I don't know, dude, like I was a little inebriated when I was watching that. I was like a little drunk and I was just very
Oh.
freaking confused the whole time. Like, it's turned into Saving Private Ryan out of nowhere, and then there was just
I got recommended
Puppet.
that. I got
I-
recommended that yesterday, and I forgot to watch it.
I
I'll
just
probably watch it later.
googled Meet the Feebles, and the first thumbnail is that beautiful goddess hippo.
The Resident Evil hippo lady.
oh,
Gloria
yeah.
from Madagascar.
Yeah.
no.
Okay. We'll move on to Alex too. What general likes and dislikes?
I think it really is like because there are some people who just like use puppetry as like to make a cheap to have it be like a cheap joke or style change. I love puppetry when it's like in the right hands and is done by because when like there's full effort put into it and you get like actual puppet performers for it and not just like and not just like, oh look, I have a sock on my hand, like really sort of cheap designs. Because like if a puppet is really well designed, one thing that I've noticed is like when a puppet has like a really good design or a really funny design, just like a blank expression alone can be really funny. Like if they have like the right design, like a blank expression could be representing like overexcitement or anger if it's like if the camera angle is positioned just right.
I get it.
It's kind of like those like weird looks that they give to the camera in The Office.
oh, those little
just-
yeah.
No, you just
But
made
it's
me
like
think of
super
like The
exaggerated.
Office. You just made me think of The Office, but like instead of people, it's just puppets. That sounds. I don't know. Sounds
I'd
It'd
watch
be
that.
funny.
Quick,
Give me
someone.
that.
Oh wait, that was already me. That was a fucking
Oh yeah.
Muppets.
Oh yeah, the Muppet.
The
Muppets.
Muppets.
Yeah, the Muppets.
ABC
Sure.
Muppets.
Kermit
Yeah.
says hell,
Yes,
And then-
finally. Let him cuss. Let
and
him
then
go
my-
crazy.
and then my mother kicks in the door. Is like, "What are you watching, child?"
The Muppets.
The
It's the
Muppets.
Not
Muppets,
my
It's the Muppets,
hashtag
Mama.
hashtag not my Muppets, and then she smashed the TV.
No.
No. Mom, why are you a Muppet hater?
Probably the best version of the Muppets I've seen.
Yes.
Unlike,
Yeah, I heard it was very mistreated. I
Was
do like the
mistreated.
idea how like Kermit was just like on the rebound with someone else. Like it was like a celebrity couple breaking up.
Oh my god, I love that aspect of it just because it's just like this is so fucking weird to see the Muppets like this, and I love it.
I mean, it's great.
It's
It's
the
great to see them in prime time again.
dude, I really freaking love that like the Office style Muppets because it just felt like a very like all right, we don't have to worry about the stupid cameras and doing these stupid Treasure Island movies. Like this is how we are. It's like yes, I love that illusion, that breaking of illusion where Kermit
Yeah.
does say where Kermit does because Kermit gives off that feel of being like Mr. Rogers, but if Mr. Rogers said "fuck you,"
Oh.
Realistic,
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Rogers.
nah, Mr. Rogers was a saint through and through.
He
Lost that
was
man.
like from beginning to end, and it didn't matter. And it wasn't even a persona. Just like even when the cameras weren't rolling, just 100% of the time, he was an absolute angel.
He
Super
was.
wholesome 420.
His puppet
Hell yeah.
skills were not the best. His puppets weren't the best, but they were very.
But he
They were
was
very.
trying. He was trying.
Yeah, that's
How
what made it.
dare
That's
you.
what. That was
How
what
dare
made it so
you.
charming. That was what made it so charming, though. Just how
Yes.
simplistic everything was. Like you
Yes.
really get the feeling like, oh, all of this was made by like one guy who just really wants to like make the world a better place.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Rogers. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I love that man.
Every
Alright.
time I see like a top 10 things Mr. Rogers did, I always end up crying.
Dude, yes, every time I watch anything or anybody talk about him or what he used to do, and then when they mention that he's gone, I'm like, stop. I'm already gonna cry because he's such an amazing man. Like, just stop. Stop talking.
Too good for this world.
Yes, he was. We
All
need
right.
him now
Honestly,
more
yeah.
than ever.
All right. And how about you, Alex and Menace? General likes and dislikes.
Give me like 2 seconds. Okay. And dislikes. Oh, I was actually thinking about this, and I'm like, I don't know if I dislike anything. Like, same with the stop motion thing. I was like, I mean, maybe what Pale said, where it's like it's just hard to do properly, you know?
Yeah.
Like I mean, I probably would dislike to try to work with puppets like to the level of like a Jim Henson production, because like that's just hard, you know, versus like, I don't know, what's that dude from WWE who's like the sock puppet thing? I can't remember his name, but
Well, Mankind.
Mankind, yeah. You know, something like that where it's kind of simple, but no, I don't think I dislike anything about it. I think what I do like about it is it's kind of like it's kind of not, I don't know if convenience is the word, but it's like kind of with the animation thing where you're kind of giving the illusion of this thing that isn't alive is actually alive and has a personality and stuff like that. You can kind of do it like anywhere, really. Like, well, not anywhere, but you can do it like again in real time. Like you don't need to like with someone who's impatient, maybe they're, you know, maybe they don't want to sit through someone doing a bunch of drawings or rendering or taking a bunch of photographs to kind of see the magic of like, oh, this thing's moving versus like with a puppet. You know, if you get Kermit's actor or whatever to kind of sit down with him or Elmo and just kind of do their thing, you can immediately kind of make that connection, and it's kind of the immediacy of it, which is cool. Like you can immediately do a like an actor who's kind of transforms into a different role, except like even visually they look completely different. It's I think it's cool you can do stuff like that, and or also that with puppetry it tends to like, not always, but it tends to kind of embrace like the fact that it's like the verisimilitude isn't like always 100% the most important thing of like with puppetry versus animation, where you want to believe that these are not drawings, these are not still images. Versus with puppetry, sometimes you see the wires and the strings and little things like that, and like that's okay. I mean, depending on what you're doing, like it's fine. Like it's
It can
part of
work for comedic effect.
yeah, it's part of the
Sometimes,
it's
part
part
of
of
the
the
charm of
fun.
it.
Yeah, it's part of the fun. Sometimes saying, and like, and it doesn't really take away from anything. You can still kind of buy it, even though you see strings and whatever. It's
Yeah, it's
you
like
know,
it's part of
I
like
think that's
the.
cool.
It's one of the things that you're just sort of like expected to suspend in your disbelief, like seeing the edges of a stage in a play or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's just cool. I don't know that you can. That's something you can kind of do sometimes. Like, you know, we know that, you know, we're just like people control moving these puppets around in your face, but you know that's kind of part of the fun, and just kind of taking, you know, suspending your disbelief a little bit and being like, okay, you know, this is fun or engaging, you know.
Right.
Right.
I think that's about it. I don't think I have anything to dislike about it.
All right, cool. Anyone else want to add one last thing in their mind? Yes, no, maybe.
Not
Okay.
that I can think of. ATM.
AT what?
ATM.
Okay. We'll just move on to the next topic then. Like,
Sounds good.
movies. Best and worst movie. Involving
The
puppetry.
best of the best movies.
The best of the best. Okay, and we all agree right here right now. Happy Time Murderer is the best puppet movie ever made. Okay.
It
No,
could have been better. It could have been better. Like honestly, I
it
didn't.
was. Oof.
It was all right. It was.
Yeah.
It
Alright.
wasn't.
I
It
feel like
wasn't
I got.
terrible.
I feel like I got a majority of the best like jokes and stuff from the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Okay.
mean,
Like I feel like Happy Time Murders would have been better as like a parody trailer on SNL and have that be the end of it.
You're absolutely right. Anyway, we'll go on one by one. So Alex and Menace, best and worst movies involving puppets. What's your opinion?
See, this is the part where I kind of falter a little bit.
Oh.
I haven't
Same.
seen really much movies like where the entirety of the movie is like puppetry. I mean, like I'm aware of them. As a kid, I saw there's just like this movie. It's like from like 1998. It's like Elmo and Grouchland or something like that.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
illegal to ask for help in Grouchland.
I think that's the one. It's like the late 90s. Like I've seen that as a kid, but it's in so many years. Like I think the only thing I can, and for worse, like I haven't even seen like Happy Time Murder, which people complain about that, or Team America or whatever. But I I guess I don't like just walk away empty-handed from this aside from Elmo and Grouchland or whatever. I put this in another section. Because there's like this Korean film. Just to jump ahead to this because it's just only like a tiny part of it, but it's kind of important. Called Hope. And I'm not gonna spoil what happens or what anything like that. It's kind of a dark movie, but there's a scene where like the father character kind of reconnects with he reconnects with like his daughter after she goes through like a traumatic event, and the way he does this is kind of dressing up as like her favorite characters from this like puppet, like this TV show with like puppets and stuff like that, and that's like a big part of the climax. It's just him kind of putting on this like little performance for her, dressed as one of the characters she loves from this puppet show, which is not exactly the topic the answer you're probably looking for, but I'm like, I mean, it's a really good movie, and puppetry does play a part in the climax because it's important to this character, this girl, and their relationship with the father. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, that's a really random answer, I guess, but that's all I
Yeah.
can think of. Really, I don't think I've seen one unless you guys remind me of something.
That's fine. We like put that Korean movie on the chat so I can check it out later.
Hope. Okay.
Let's move on to Alex too.
One thing I'm seeing in the notes that I think is just worth mentioning, just because of how like well known it is Team America.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Team America. That movie
it's
was
a very-
crazy.
It's insane. It's like
Yeah.
it's definitely like inspired by what it was Thunderbirds, I think is what the show was called, where it's just like this like political action thriller, but they just in like sort of South Park style, they just reduce it to like the most bare bones, on the nose, like, well, not necessarily on the nose, because like yeah, I would say it's pretty obvious. It's like trying to see like I love how like the opening of the movie just like really sets the tone, because it just like there's just like trying to stop terrorists but end up destroying all of Paris.
Yeah.
Bonjour, everyone. Everything is okay now.
Everything's okay. I really
Oh my god.
I really
love
like the attention to detail, especially on Team America. Especially that France set where the streets are just tiny croissants. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I love it's like very very blatant. It feels like it feels kind of like American propaganda, Because like they go to like Egypt, and like it's a bunch of guys in turbans going Durka Durka Muhammad Jihad.
Durka, durka.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that movie was freaking crazy. I remember watching it, being like, "Oh yeah, that's one of those movies where like, sure you can see the strings, but it really doesn't
Yeah.
freaking matter."
No,
Like the
they
comedy
totally
is
say it
just,
for laughs. They have that like kung fu fight at the beginning of the movie.
yeah, then it gets done. I
It's
love
so
it.
good. Matt Damon.
Man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, freaking. Oh, then I remember when my friend was like, "Oh yeah, it's by the people who made South Park." I was like, "No wonder." I like this so much.
That makes too much sense.
Yeah, I was like, no wonder I like this. No wonder this is suspiciously very funny.
I still love that one thing where he's just like he gets in his limo. It's like there we go. Now suck my cock.
No.
Someone like because there was that
So
same voice actor who
stupid.
played someone who played that character.
Hmm.
The guy who played that character also did like a Burger King commercial. So
Oh.
like someone made an edit where they like the entire commercial was Norma talking about a burger called the BK Stacker. It's like now available at Burger King, the BK Stacker. Now suck my cock.
No, so,
I feel like I've seen that before.
I don't know what the heck.
I
I don't feel like I've seen it before, but that's funny.
I recreated it because I couldn't find it on YouTube anywhere. But it's so good. Because it caught me off guard. I was like, because that was like it was like back in the days when I would watch like nothing but YouTube poop most of the time, and I was just like, oh, Burger King ad edit. Wait, there's nothing in this, and then it got to the end and I died.
Oh wow.
all right.
Ugh.
Wow. What would you consider the worst movie then, or anything
Team
else?
America by default, it's the only one that exists, so it's also the
Uh,
worst one.
Like,
Is
I
this?
guess the worst one I can think of is maybe Detective Heart of America: The Final
Okay.
Freedom.
What?
I've never heard of that one.
I've
It's
never heard of it either.
it's all on you. It was a YouTube movie by Film Cow, the guy that did Charlie the Unicorn.
Oh.
It's
Oh really?
like it's the worst one I've seen, but I can't really think of anyone that's worse. It's still really entertaining in its own right. It kind of like drags on a bit too long, but there are parts of it that are gold. It's basically a detective that's like an eagle statue that a guy like puppets around with his hand being clearly visible. He's like, and it's just like has the typical Film Cow voice, just like, "Oh, we gotta save America from the fucking terrorists."
Wow.
America.
There's like
Yeah.
basically America is sold for Bitcoin and turns into a nation called Fug.
That's funny.
That's the future,
Man.
okay?
It's like can you see? It's like, can you see where I am? I'm up in the. It's like, can you see where I am? I'm up in the sky. Yeah, I can see the sky. It's pretty fucking everywhere.
All right. We'll move on to Nesska. Oh, you.
About like my favorite.
Best and worst. What would you consider?
My best and worst, like, I don't, for movies, I would say the worst is Meet the Feebles, just because, oh my gosh, like, you will understand when you watch that movie, because holy crap, a lot of shit happens in that movie. It's so fucking weird, and I know I was drunk when watching it, but I feel like even if I were to watch it sober, I would probably be just as confused, because like I said, there's a part where it just feels like Saving Private Ryan, where they're all like, to me it felt like I just looked away for a second and looked back, and then now they're like in a war zone. I'm like, whoa, what the heck? Puppets and war. Puppets are getting exploded and dying. What's going on here?
Oh yeah, you know what? Happy Time Murders is the worst one.
Okay, look, Happy Time Murders, I think, isn't okay, movies.
It has its moment. Like, I love the scene where they find like the inbred kids, and it's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh God, are you? It's like, are you okay? And that's just all they say.
That's what you get. I love the joke where it's like, that's what you get for swimming in your own gene pool.
Yeah. I do like the plot line where like puppets are like addicted to sugar like a drug.
Oh man, yeah, that's hilarious.
She's
But honestly,
she's a sugar smack.
I honestly think that Happy Time Murders would have been, it's too bright for a story of what it's going for. I honestly think, like, what is it, the concept drawings, I think I honestly do think they should have kept it dark with like sprinkling in humor here and there, or having funny
Yeah.
situations happening off screen where people pay attention to the background rather than
Yeah.
see with Happy Time Murders, I feel like it was one of those like here's the joke, now laugh. Like they treated the audience like a bunch of idiots,
Yeah,
essentially.
dude, I would have loved it if they played it like a Naked Gun spoof movie where everything is just played straight.
Yeah, like honestly, I really do think that they should have kept it more grittier and like darker. But obviously, like having these colorful puppets in the background, like
Yeah, that would
you
be the
know,
joke.
yeah, and or like like I think like it would have played for like the more serious ones because Happy Time Murders did try to get serious in some scenes, but with how bright it is and stuff, I feel like it took away from anything that could have been of substance, I guess. But
It's
Beth,
also hard to it's hard to transition from like something incredibly like serious and thematically deep after like having a scene where a puppet comes whipped cream forever.
oh no, that was like it was Silly String.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was silly string.
I still laugh. I mean, like Happy Time Murders will make me laugh.
I like the one like the guy dancing on the street for money. It's like, hey, how you doing today? Da da ba ba da. My wife's dead.
yeah.
Da, da,
Yeah. But one thing I really like, it's obviously I'm gonna be very biased, but one of my favorite movies is The Dark Crystal. If not for the puppets, but for sure the like oh man, Jim Henson, damn, like his shit's
it's a very ambitious movie.
it's ambitious, but it's the scenery, like it brings you in, it draws you in, like it made me want to experience more of Thra, the world of Thra.
It has like the feel of like a magnum opus. Like I've gained like this great level of influence, and I can basically like have a movie where I can do whatever I want, and no one's gonna question me. And they sort of like took full advantage of that.
All right, cool. I guess I'll go next. Best and worst. I have a soft spot for Team America, World Police, for the best. I the freaking the asshole speech at the end is probably one of the best speeches ever done in cinema history. Okay.
I'm a dick.
I'm a dick, and I fuck pussy. I also fuck assholes.
Then he vomits for 2 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Let's see what I have in my notes is I put Puppet Master in there just because I saw it recently. It was okay.
Right.
But I have to talk about the ending. This is gonna be spoilers.
Uh-oh.
Where the bad guy, the tentacle bad guy in the ending, gains immortality because of some voodoo shit.
Oh god.
But somehow the puppets he's forcing to work for him turn against him and manage to kill him. So I'm just sitting here in the dark thinking to myself, how the fuck is Drillhead here killing this guy when he's technically immortal? Did I miss something? Did they not explain something?
Wait, there's 14 Puppet Master movies?
Huh?
Probably.
Oh god.
Jesus.
But yeah.
I haven't seen a single one. Ding.
And then
Time to watch them all.
time to watch them all. Next movie night.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Fucking. And
Make
then
time for that.
for
The
worse,
fifth one is called The Final Chapter.
and for worse, I would put Happy Time Murders, just cause. So interesting story is I saw that in cinemas, and like, fucking that gave me, like a stomach flu or something. Like right after the theater, cause I had like horrible diarrhea afterwards.
Oh
Oh
no.
So
no.
horrible experience,
Oh,
man. But the movie is kind of just meh. I'm surprised no one like points out that the Happy Time Murder is kind of a ripoff of The Fuzz, like
Oh yeah.
an older movie with kind of the same concept of a cop and the puppet working together. And
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. That's cool.
I feel like The Fuzz does it better.
It does.
it's stupider, but it's like more entertaining to watch
Yeah,
than McCarty trying to act.
yeah. Melissa McCarthy's like one of those actors where whether or not they're funny depends on who's directing them.
Yes. And then for the worst of the worst, uh, is a movie called Head. It's
Head.
like it's a short movie about puppets going
Maybe
into the
had.
woods and like they all get killed one by one.
Oh.
It's probably
Whoa.
one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's like horribly paced, even though it's like a short film. And
That's what I call getting.
it feels like it was written by like a 12-year-old trying to be edgy and philosophical at the same time.
Oh my god, I'm seeing the trailer right now. It looks like a bunch of the puppets are made from like store. It looks like Super Mario Logan stuff.
Yes.
Oh.
That's probably the
Oh
worst puppet
man.
movie I've seen in my life. I regret watching it,
Mhm.
and I love trash, man, but that one was just
Yeah,
kind of
some
like
garbage is
I
okay.
love trash, but that's too trashy for me.
that's too much. We'll move on. What about you, Pale? Best and worst movie?
I'm similar to like Alex the Menace. I'm like I've seen some of these puppet movies, but I don't know if I really have a favorite or a dislike. I want to be like, yeah, Happy Time Murders, but I'm like, I think I know a worse one. It's sort of like a mix between animatronic and puppets. I was gonna say Howard the Duck.
Yeah,
Or
that
the
Howard the
counts.
Duck. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
that's a classic. That's the best Marvel movie ever made. What are you
You
talking about?
you get
No,
you,
it's the
you get
worst.
you get to see Duck Booby.
You get to see duck
Hell yeah.
boobies.
No,
You get to see the
no,
duck
I don't
booba.
want that.
Hell yeah.
No, no, thank.
It's in like the first 5 minutes too.
Yeah.
It's like okay,
I'm
Duck
like,
cool. The
oh,
movie's
booby.
over.
okay,
I can go home now.
That's
Quack
all I came
tits.
for.
traumatized me.
Duck tits.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, ooh,
Woo woo.
auga.
Yeah.
You gotta make the most. You gotta push for for that PG rating somehow.
PG.
Oh yeah, because in that day PG-13 didn't exist.
Yeah, there's like a scene in like I think it was in The Naked Gun where like everyone's panicking in the middle. Everyone's like panicking and running around, and then for no reason there's like a topless woman that comes out in front of the camera and jumps for 5 seconds and
Oh
walks away.
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Um.
Family entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess similar. It's like a mix as well because it's got live action. For the I guess the best because they also use puppets. Gremlins.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah. I'd say that counts because they're like they're like a big part of the movie.
I love Gremlins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely
Oh yeah,
counts.
Gremlins is funny. I love Gremlins too. Very hilarious. What a very good movie.
One of the best
My type of
Christmas
humor.
movies.
Does
Yes.
Gremlins count?
Jenny,
I
Oh
what
would
yeah,
is
it
it?
say
does.
so
Yeah, I was just trying to
because
think. Is
they're
it stop mo? I mean, some parts are stop motion, but yeah, it's like
yeah.
mostly puppets. Okay, never
I'd say
mind.
they
Yeah,
take a central role.
yeah. I was gonna say Jurassic Park, but like it's more about the humans probably. So I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
Gremlins. That's a good one. Yeah, I love Gremlins. That's a really every Christmas I watch it. It's really fun.
It's the best
Yes.
Christmas movie ever.
Yeah,
I'm
and the
Yeah,
surprised they
theme
don't make
song. The theme song is like quintessential '80s synth. It's really catchy.
Yeah, oh
Oh,
my
yes.
god.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't know.
Yes.
hell
It's
yeah.
good Halloween music also, but
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see Royal Foil is here. Can you talk or like you still in mute?
very quickly interject.
Okay, so am I able to talk right now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Go for it.
we can hear you.
Okay, coolio. Okay, so my name is Royal Foil, and I do art, and I have an Instagram that's at royalfoil_01.
All right, cool. We're talking about like best and worst puppet movies. What do you have any?
Wait, what do you say?
We're talking about best and worst puppet movies.
Ah, okay. So, let me see. I mean, I heard y'all were talking about Howard the Duck a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how Howard the Duck summoned Royal Foil.
Yes.
How?
Just saying, but I actually kind of like the movie. You know, I mean those weird undertones, like you have the chick and the duck. You know,
They're just best buddies. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
No.
Yeah, nothing happened. Yeah,
They're best friends. Yeah, they're just best friends. What you don't want to be friends with a duck?
they were just hugging. Okay.
just a friendly kiss.
One intimate hug.
Oh, God.
No
I mean,
hugging way.
don't you hug all your homies? Just saying.
No.
You hug your
You just-
homies? Man,
No.
I can't
Oh,
live in a
your
world
homies
where I
too?
can't hug my homies.
My homies don't
Keep
like
you,
to be
I'll keep you
touched.
warm, homie.
Do you
Not
make out with your
touchy.
homie too?
Hey, I gotta
Of
live in a
course.
world where it's okay. You know, you gotta show the homies some love. Just saying. Just
If
saying.
only.
If only the woodpecker sighs.
Yeah, the wood.
The bark on the tree was as dark as the skies.
Okay, edgy.
Hey,
What is that on your MySpace profile?
bro.
No, it's I gotta carry Madame Zeroni up the mountain.
Let's see
Okay.
what else.
Continue on. Foil.
Now, despite how much I talk about South Park a lot, I only watched Team America probably once in my life.
Oof.
Like,
That's all you
One of my
need,
favorite
probably.
movies.
I've only seen Team America once in my life too, but it made a major impact, and I thought it was hilarious.
because like the only parts I really remember is like America, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know, really.
Yeah,
like-
honestly, that's just the whole theme of the movie. That's honestly all you really need to know.
Yeah.
And then the Matt Damon.
Oh yeah, Damon.
Gaming.
Oh, that movie is hilarious. I hate how funny that movie is to me.
Yeah. It's all like low hanging fruit, but they do it so perfect. They hit it so perfectly.
Dude, it's all low hanging fruit, but it's just like the ripest low hanging fruit. Like it's just hit after hit.
I like when South Park says we live in a society.
Society.
God,
Damn.
We're not gonna get into that. We'll continue. Sorry.
I mean, well, to be honest, I'm not really well versed into like puppet animation kind of sort of thing.
That's fine. You have anything else to add? If not, we can just move on to the next topic.
I mean, you already talked about Gremlins and all that, so you can probably just move on now.
What about general likes and dislikes? Since you weren't here for that, what do you like about puppetry or dislike about it?
Oh, okay. So, basically, what I like about the puppetry is like, I mean, it's kind of like motion capture, where you just have like this little object and you just move it around, and then it's just there's a certain style to it, like how people move around with the puppet, and then it just seems like it's so lifelike, when in reality it's just a puppet.
Oh yeah, you got like the Muppet walk where it's just them like bouncing.
Yeah. Let's see.
We got like they got the arms like stay up as they go. There's like a scene in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs where he runs down the hall where like Flynn is running down a hallway and he does like a perfect Muppet walk. It looks really funny.
Are you talking about the part with the ice cream snow?
Yeah,
That's my favorite scene.
I love it because like, he runs down and you can't see his legs.
Yes.
You can only see his lab coat. So he's like he looks like a Muppet.
Yeah, it's so funny and creepy.
Like he flails his arms around.
No, his arms are like they stay in the same spot, like a figure.
Yeah, Cloudy with Chance Meatballs is pretty good too, even though it's not puppet related.
Yeah,
it's okay. We'll change topics midway through.
Oh.
Anything else to add, Foil?
I mean, the only parts I really dislike is is those really creepy, like murder you in your sleep kind of puppets.
Oh, like Big Bird. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like ventriloquist dolls or the
Jeff Dunham.
Yeah.
Jeff Dunham.
I will say I do like some of the designs of like Jeff Dunham's puppets because like they're very simple, but you can get like a big range of emotion out of them.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Like Ahmed especially, because all you have is like the eyes and the eyebrows,
Eyebrows?
but
It's
yeah,
so
The
it's so
eyebrows do
expressive.
all the talking.
but it's like
Yeah.
super. And I've noticed that like sometimes he can, if he has Ahmed looking to the side, it looks more like he's smiling, but if he's looking straight on, it's like a more blank expression.
Interesting.
So it's like he's able to get. It's just really cool. Like he's able to get like this wide range of emotions from like these three simple changes.
All right. Okay, so time for the next topic. Now for the good stuff, the fucking Mr. Meaty.
We've been waiting to talk
Me.
about
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Well,
Um.
TV shows. We'll go. Who's the last one? Foil, right? So now we're going for TV shows. Best and worst or favorites. So what's your favorite or best or worst or all three really?
Hmm. Oh, you want to start with me now?
Uh, yeah,
Okay.
bottom up.
Okay, so from the past couple of days, I've been watching like Mr. Meaty episodes.
Hell yeah.
Pain.
What? No, what do you mean pain? Mr. Meaty is a
Okay.
masterpiece.
It's very. It feels. I don't know how hot of a take this is gonna sound like. It feels like regular show to me.
No, definitely, it does feel like
Yeah,
a
it
regular show.
does kind of
Because
like
like it's
regular.
just like young people in like a low wage job just hanging out and weird stuff happens.
Yeah, not caring about their job because they don't get paid enough to care.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed that is like it showed up in two different episodes too. Like they both want to be filmmakers,
Yeah,
which hit a little bit close to home. I thought that was going to be like a one episode thing, but I was surprised when they actually like brought it up multiple times in like a different episode.
yeah. Like I think I just saw the episode not too long ago. It was when they were talking about they were gonna make a movie, and then all of a sudden, like they turn into the future is like 90 years later, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
still haven't made the movie.
their future selves go back in time. It's like make the movie.
Makes some
That's like that is that, and I'm just like this is like this feels like something that would happen in an episode of regular show.
Yeah, like Mordecai and the Rigby's.
But instead it would be like you have to go set the high score on the arcade machine.
Probably. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like from that, I think this is the same episode. Is the what's his name? The Romero director at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Just dissing on himself. Like my first movie was shit as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that message though.
But
I think it's
these people got a bright future ahead of them. Very nice. Continue on, foil. Like,
Okay, and then I mean it's a pretty gross show because he had that first short I think where it was like the golf girl came in and then she just stuck her hand in the grease and ate her own fingers.
Oh my god.
I like
Was that a
the
thing that happened? Jeez.
What?
Wait,
Was
what?
that a thing that happened? Jeez, I haven't seen
that happened in the shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that legit happened. Like just ate her fingers and then Parker, the short fat guy. He's like, okay, I'll just stick my hand in there too, and you can tell like his face was cringing the whole time.
there's like the one where he has like a tapeworm.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, everyone
that
talks about the
one.
tapeworm episode.
I did not rewatch that episode, but I still remember it in great detail. The Australian guy comes up, he's like, "I'll give you $5 for it," and it climbs in his mouth.
I had a
Oh my
nightmare. I had a nightmare
that's
about
Jeez.
Mr. Meaty, and it was like
No.
I don't think. I mean, maybe this was an episode, and I just I manifested it into a dream. That's all I remember. But it's kind of like that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward gets fused with SpongeBob, and like by the end of the episode, like
It
all
all
the
started
characters
when
get
I was born.
yeah, and then they all get fused into this like eldritch abomination. And I had a dream
yeah.
of something like that where it's like Mr. Meaty, and like they're all the characters are kind of fused together, and the theme is like playing like really slowly, and then the Mr. Meaty, the come on down, God's creatures, whatever the theme song.
Oh, God's
No.
creatures.
Creatures
Restaurant
straight
the
from the grill.
Yeah. And
Woo.
yeah, and there was like flies. I don't know. I had a nightmare. I think that's the show that my mom started to be like, okay, you can't watch the show anymore. This is
Yeah,
like not.
that
for
it was like
you.
a show that I felt ashamed to watch.
I wasn't ashamed of it. I saw it when it came
Well,
out.
I wasn't
was like,
ashamed of
whoa,
it, but it was
yeah.
like it's one of those things where you'd be afraid of your parents seeing you watching it.
That's
Girl,
one of
that
those
chick
things that
can't-
that
Yeah,
I
'cause
feel like
my
my
parents hated it.
Yeah.
Jeez, I wish my parents cared about like, oh, you know what? Maybe this is too much for you, Ness. And I'm just my parents are just there like, hey, as long as there's no boobies on screen,
Well, it's just
have
like
fun.
well, it's just like Mr. Meaty. This is the era when like Mr. Meaty and like well, this came
Mhm.
later, but like the Mighty Bee. And I remember my mom specifically was like, "What happened to like the good shows like Rugrats and like Hey Arnold?" Like, it's like you
Kids
know,
these days just don't get it.
yeah.
I would love it if more parents would talk like '90s kids like that. Like
all
a
parents
like a
talk like
5-year-old
90s kids, except they talk like 80s
like
kids. Are like, man,
just
He-Man
like
and Thundercats is. I mean, Thundercats is like the
just
best thing ever.
Yeah,
just
Jump
like
like
my
Thundercats
parents
roar.
and
just like a mom
Tough
talking to her
Guy.
7-year-old's like, ugh, why don't they have anything good like Our Real Monsters?
Oh
Ew.
man, classic. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue on, Foil. Yeah. Anything
Okay,
else?
and then this is probably the last thing I'm gonna talk about until I move on. But it's about the second season. Like it's crazy when even the second season is a bigger fever dream than just the first
Oh.
one.
All
Cause
I
Yeah,
it's
heard-
like
there's the episode where he eats a femme burger and gets turned into a woman.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
the Burger King estrogen burger that people were talking
Yeah.
about a few years ago.
Jeez.
Soy
incredible
boy.
level.
Yeah, Mr. Meaty's like the
Like,
Simpsons for stop
and-
motion shows. It predicts everything.
The way they
Yeah.
signify his change into a woman is that his leg hair recedes into him.
Oh.
Man, I wish.
Damn, what the heck?
This is funny.
Yeah, it turned to like a team drama, and it just came out of nowhere. I don't know
Turns
why.
into like he turned into a soy boy.
Soy
Oh.
boy.
Oh, but
Oh
yeah,
my
I understand
God,
what you're
the
talking
worst.
about, Foil. Like, where they're being like more what is it? More sitcom-y instead of episodic. Yeah.
Like had like
Yeah, because
ongoing
like the
plots. Like
thing
there
that
was.
I kind of like. Oh, sorry.
Oh, continue. I was gonna say there had. I was just gonna make that comment. They had like ongoing stories.
Yeah, but basically, I was saying the one thing I liked about Mr. Meaty, aside from like the puppets themselves, they're terrifying, but they do work with the fact that they're terrifying.
Yeah, they definitely like lean into the uncanniness of it.
Yeah, and there's also like the dialogue. Like the dialogue feels kind of real, you know.
Yeah, I like the breathing sounds that Ashley, Brittany, and Ashley 2 do. Just, oh.
I like how realistic Josh as a friend is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, Josh sounds like Adam Devine.
Also like
Really?
how Josh only has one eye, like always.
Yeah, the designs look pretty good too. Like,
Was I the was I the only one when I was like younger when Mr. Meaty came out? I was like, this is like the puppet version of Drake and Josh because of the
Oh
there was a
yeah,
character
Josh.
named
Yeah.
Josh, and like they both have the similar dynamic of one's the cool ladies man and one's like,
Right.
I'm not the joke was like haha
Right,
they're
right.
fat in the early seasons of Drake and Josh, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's yeah, except it was like Drake and Josh was fat and cool, and Mr. Meaty was fat and emo.
Fan emo.
Yeah,
Fat and
it'd be
emo.
like that.
There's like a Linkin Park episode where Josh wants to go to the Linkin Park concert and I'm forgetting who's who. Where Josh Parker.
Parker's the porker.
Okay, yeah, him. Yeah, he wants to go to like a Linkin Park concert and yeah, classic.
Angry white guy music.
Yeah, the worst kind of music. Unless it's like Fiona Apple or something, I don't know. She's cool. Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
Continue on. Yeah.
Yeah, no
Oh, yeah,
problem.
moving on.
I wonder if there were any cameos in Mr. Meaty, like if they were able to swing something like that.
Dan Schneider.
Probably not.
Oh yeah, the cop from that show. He looks like Bobby Hill,
He
with
does.
glasses. Like
He does look like a grown-up Bobby Hill.
let me
No,
find the
grown up
picture.
Bobby Hill. Grown up Bobby Hill is an invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is grown up
Okay.
Bobby Hill.
All right. Foil. Yeah. Anything else?
Oh yeah, that's everything.
That's everything. All right. We'll move on to Pale.
Woo! Okay, I got maybe like 2 or 3. Okay, I guess I'll start with the least favorite. Hold on, let me look back. Dang it, I had my notes. Shit, I forgot. Hold on. Maybe I'll just start with favorites. Uh, since I mentioned it earlier, I was like, oh yeah, the Muppets, the ABC one, the one from 2015.
The best version of the Muppets.
Yes,
Oh,
the
the
best one.
sitcom kind of.
Yeah, the sitcom one. I like. Um,
This is good.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Wholesome. It's
Yeah.
educational.
Yeah, that counts.
Hold on. Oh my god. Okay, here. Take this and yeet. No. Okay. Sorry. My little brother wanted me to do something real quick. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. The Muppets. Okay, I remember now the bad one I was gonna mention. So it was like this show on Disney XD. It has a puppet character.
Oh, Crash and
it's
Bernstein.
like-
Yeah.
Wait, which show?
Uh,
You guys all spoke at the same
Crash
time.
and Bernstein.
That sounds-
Bernstein.
Crash
Yeah.
and Bear
Crash
Stein?
and Bernstein.
Oh, let me-
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I thought he was annoying.
Yeah.
It was one of those build a boyfriend thing. It was weird.
Yeah.
Kill the
that's what it was.
boyfriend.
I forgot about
It
that
was.
show. Yeah.
It's
No,
like
no me gusta.
it's like it is a very it's a very Disney XD looking show.
Edgy.
So cool and edgy.
Off the hook.
Radical dude.
Rad.
Anything else?
Zeke and Luther, but except one of them robbed somebody.
What?
Oh.
I can't remember if it was Zeke or Luther, but one of them was arrested because of a robbery.
Factor.
Damn. That
But
is tragic.
at least Cookie's still on the straight and narrow.
Cookie from like Ned's Declassified, right?
Yeah.
I remember meeting
Oh,
him. He
yeah.
came down here. He was here for one of those
Yo.
Like really? Like the actor? Like the Cookie?
You met the Daniel Curtis Lee.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
he was okay, yeah, because he was down here because he was doing one of those workshop things where they're like, you can be the next Disney star, but you need to go take our workshops and stuff like that. Yeah, selling one of those workshop things. Yeah, he was here and I remember meeting him and being like, you're pretty cool, dude. And he's like, yeah, you want a picture? Because like you're supposed to like you go in front of him and two other casting directors, I guess, or like I guess talent people. I don't know who the heck they were. I think I was like in high school or middle school at the time. And I think I was in middle school. I don't know. But yeah, I got to meet him and I got to shake his hand. I got a picture with him. I have a picture somewhere when I took of him. I was like, I met a famous person. Cool. And it's so on brand for me because he's like a dorky character in the show. So.
Dude, do you
So
ask him
on
to do like
brand.
an impression of his character? Like the faces he does?
No, I did not. But for content's sake, I will say I did. I will lie for content.
Okay. Pale, you have anything else to say?
No, that's it.
That's it. Oh, okay. I'll just move on to me then. So.
I just remembered. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
It's okay.
It was one more.
It's okay.
The Dark Crystal series.
Hell
It's
yeah.
great.
Oh,
Why
great.
did I want my season 2 and I want it now.
I won't
Talk
lie.
about it.
When the Age of Resistance came out, holy crap, I cried because I couldn't believe it. And then I was watching it with my friend, right? My friend's like, are you happy that there might get like, for a possibility of season 2? And I was just crying. I was like, no, I'm not going to have my hopes up. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm just going to appreciate what's here because holy crap, never thought I would live to see the day that they made a origin or like seeing like the culture of the Gelflings.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, cool. So I'll move on to me. Like, again, Mr. Meaty. I freaking love that series. I binge watched it. I think last week. Uh, freaking one thing of note is it's weird how they have continuity in that show. Like they reference sometimes things that happen in other episodes, like in some episodes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I find that weird because it's more episodic, uh, but
Yeah.
that means that Parker is technically the most powerful human being on that show. Okay, because he
Mr.
has
Meat.
powers.
Mr. Meaty
He has
low-key was like an
powers.
anime or something.
Yeah. He has
Yeah.
all the superpowers and the healing properties of a unicorn. Well, I guess he lost that. He all the superpowers and he's a vampire. Come on, OP character.
What Mr. Meaty character was this?
Parker.
Oh yeah. He can become a woman at the drop of a hat.
They
He's
can
like
all.
Scooby Doo and like Mystery Incorporated, where he's like a demigod basically.
Then
Yeah, demigods. Hell yeah.
Yes.
hell yeah.
Demisexual.
Let's see. Well, this morning I turned on the TV and I saw something I haven't seen for years. Crank Yankers, which is
Oh my
Crank
god.
Yankers.
Yeah, that came
Shit,
back.
that was MTV's thing.
Yeah.
That came back?
that came
Yeah, they
back.
brought it back.
Oh my gosh, next thing you know, they're gonna bring back Room Raiders and Next.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Oh, that would be sick, but I'm not sure if it's if people are ready for that shit.
I saw.
Crank Yankers is cringe.
Because God
Crazy.
knows MTV needs something that isn't just ridiculousness and Teen Mom.
Oh God,
Yes.
please, can we go back to like even if they go back to actually being music TV, please.
Yeah,
That's
they
what-
already have. I think they have like a separate channel where they show music videos still.
Oh, MTV2 with the two-headed dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's also MTV Classic as well.
Yeah, MTV Classic I think is where they actually show music videws.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they still do. Yeah.
MTV2
I
they
think-
just show more reruns of ridiculousness while MTV1 is airing
No.
Teen Mom.
No.
And maybe every once in a while they'll show White Chicks.
What?
Oh my God. Oh no.
But yeah,
No way.
like I turned on the
Yo,
TV.
homo poodle.
I turned on the TV this morning, and that was on, and it's like shit. I haven't seen this in ages, man. And like I'm surprised the level of patience the people they call have. Like, damn, these people like are willing to tolerate this bullshit on the phone for so long, and we let's see, other shows. uh Recently I was watching also splitting image, this British show.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the designs of. I love when like puppet designers lean into making them look like really grotesque and awful.
All caricatures and stuff. I only seen it because recently they have a YouTube channel and they're like slowly putting in the older episodes.
Right.
And I'm surprised it holds up even if you don't know about it. It's still pretty funny. Like,
Oh, have any of you guys heard of Randy Feltface?
It
No.
sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Oh my God, Andy Feltface. He is hilarious. He's a puppet comedian.
Yeah, he's like a
Allergic
pup-
to the color blue. I love his Gumtree shtick. His
oh
story.
shit!
Oh,
The
yeah.
gum trees. Oh shit! I love that story too.
I bought a
Dude, that's
bookshelf of
great.
Gumtree.
I love Randy Feltface. I gotta
So
go watch some of
good.
his videos again.
He's
They're
like,
hilarious.
and he's like, they totally like lean into the fact that he's a puppet too. He's just like, it's like, I'm not looking at you. My eyes aren't real.
All right.
Oh
we
yeah,
got-
or when the audience like talks to him too, and he just looks at them. The whole puppet, like,
Morgan.
Or
We-
I love the skit where he's like, yeah, my nephew can't eat anything with the color blue. Well, like, what do you think are like, what color would you say blueberries are? Blue? No, they're like purple.
Berries are fucking purple.
Oh god, I love Randy Paleface. I'm sorry.
We gotta watch that Gumtree skit. It's probably one of the
Yeah,
best
the
stories.
one where he's summarizing, Ernest Hemingway's life is really good too.
Oh yeah, dude, Randy Paleface is hilarious. I love that guy.
Because he still has like all this this great physicality to the performer has like this really great physicality to it,
Mm-hmm. True,
and
true,
it's
true.
and all he does, and he's able to convey so much emotion, but like all he has is the flapping mouth and just like the ping pong eyeballs,
Yeah.
but he's just able to convey so much just through movement.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. And then plus your brain's already just looking at a puppet and your brain's already trained to be like, haha, funny felt man.
Yeah.
Funny joke. Okay, so I got like two more things. So Hollow Slayer want to mention Starfleet X Bomber. I never seen it. I don't know what that is, but he just recommended that. Any of you seen that one?
Nope, I haven't.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay,
No.
skip over that.
We'll have to put it on our little watch list.
Watch
It
this.
looks cool though. It's like it's got some mechs up in there. It looks pretty cool.
And the last
Yeah,
thing,
it's got like a Thunderbirds look to it.
yeah. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is Thunderbolt Fantasy. Probably one of the best fucking shows I've seen ever. And the incorporation of special effects with the puppetry really works well, and the choreography is top notch. Probably
Woolen sword style.
better. Say somehow better than like recent anime fightings like that I've seen. Like, damn, it's just so good.
Yeah.
I recommend it if you haven't seen it yet.
They're like little marionettes, but they're able like through like the camera angles and like fast cuts, they're able to make it look like there's so much weight to it.
Y'all have to watch the first episode, man. It's so fucking hype.
You're just talking about Wuland Warriors, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm battle
Woo,
sword with my
woo,
training brothers.
woo.
Call we on a mission to try to find the missing 7 stars of Wulin.
Woo,
Oh my
woo,
god.
woo.
I was watching that with my friend and I was just like, oh my god, like what's the OG thing look like? And it's just like legit really good and really like crazy, like dramatic. But
And then
yeah,
America's like, now we're gonna make this into like Family Guy or something. I don't know.
pretty much. Oh my god, it pretty much is Family Guy.
Yeah, it's like
like
one of those
ghost
shows you
stories.
watch on Adult Swim once and then you never watch again.
Yeah, I love it. That's one thing I really like with Adult Swim shows. I love Adult Swim shows that have that quality where like you would be channel surfing late at night, you'd be half asleep, and you would see some really bizarro shit happen on Adult Swim, and you'll like be questioning whether or not what you saw actually happened because you're half asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not like Harvey Birdman or Family Guy, all the regular stuff you watch. It'll just be shit like Xavier or Super Jill.
Yeah, Xavier Renegade. Oh, YOLO Crystal Fantasy is really good too. I just finished binging that. That was really good.
All right. I got nothing else, so we'll move on to Nesska.
Mhm.
Yeah. The TV shows. Favorite, best, worst. Yeah.
Favorite, best, or worst? I don't know. I feel like whenever I watch something that's really bad, unless it like unless it left a significant impact on me, then I feel like I would remember. Or if it was just that bad, then I just like locked it away in my memory, in my memory banks. But let's see. When it comes to like the best things that I've seen, I'd like to think oh wait, actually no, we were talking about like Crash and Bernstein. Yeah, that one was really
Yeah.
annoying. His only crime was being an annoying asshole.
Yeah.
Such a jerk. I hated him. But like some of the best stuff watching, well, if we can't talk about the Muppets, then Sesame Street, right? Because Sesame
Yeah.
Street's pretty fucking good. Like the earlier Sesame Street, super cool with like being experimental, with not just like puppetry, but like, just putting a lot of weird shit on screen to like convey help kids like focus on shit so that way they can teach them.
Yeah.
And
Oh, Between the Lions.
Oh, Between the Lions
Yes.
was really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, okay, I will say that I got
Yes.
to meet somebody who worked on Between the Lions, and
What?
How many
Yes.
people do you meet? You met Cookie and like.
Was it that like was that the was it at
the story of the museum. Yes.
yeah. I was like, you want to
Oh
see some
my.
puppets?
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, speaking of puppets, since this is a podcast right now, an episode about puppets, there was a time that I was with some friends. We went to MomoCon, right? But our hotel room wasn't ready, so we ended up going to the Museum of Puppetry and Arts. And so we went, and they had like a Dark Crystal exhibit. I got to see a lot of really cool puppets from around the world. They had Coraline. They even had Mystery Science Theater puppets there. It was really freaking cool. So, we're done. We're already done taking pictures, looking around. We're kind of just like poking around the building. And I kid you not, if this was a horror movie, I would be the dumb blonde that dies for. uh because what happened was there's this guy, he's just looking at us, and I'm over here looking at some Howard the Crayon stop motion thing. It's like some weird thing that they just have there that just has some information and some stuff behind a glass box. And so I'm reading it, and a janitor guy he seems like a really cool dude. Like, he's not bad or anything, obviously, but it's just overly energetic, and can see that I have stars in my eyes because I'm just looking at all these puppet stuff. I'm in my element, in other words. And he's like, so you like puppets? I look at him
Oh.
like a puppy wanting my treat. Like, yes, puppets. I heard puppets.
Oh.
Where can I find puppets? And he's just like, you want to go to the workshop? And
Come with me.
I'll show you a
well,
puppet.
No,
Um,
don't.
Stranger
so-
danger.
and so, well, okay, look, from my excuse was I was with 3 guys. Mind you, one of them was kind of a little lanky and probably wouldn't be able to help defend, but the other 2 were pretty big and strong.
Yeah.
But so I was with a group of guys, so I didn't feel uncomfortable or unsafe or anything. So he just opened the elevator, and so we're all going. But here I am, Ness, being the dumb bird, walking into the elevator, like, all right, let's go, like just vibrating in my seat, kind of deal.
You enter the puppet dimension.
Yeah, I entered I entered the spooky door, the puppet door.
You turn into a puppet, and you suddenly see a person beneath you controlling you.
What was it? Okay, yeah, so we go down, right, and then we go into the workshop, and apparently there was a lady who, I think it was the lady who worked at the Jim Henson Creature Shop, and then there's a guy who he used to work on Between the Lions, and so he was telling us about their stuff there. And don't ask me who their names were, because I had stars in my eyes, and I was just like, this is the best day of my life ever. And so yeah, so I got to talk to some lady who used to work, and I think they were putting on a puppetry show about like they were in the process of making puppets. And so I was talking, and so we were talking to them, and the times that I could talk, I was just asking like, oh, so what are you doing, like, so you make all your puppets here in house? And they're like, yeah, this is the puppet shop, we have like a drawer of all these eyes, we have a drawer of all this stuff. And it's just, it was a dream come true for me. And
There's
then,
like a guy in the corner doing like the Toy Story 2 fixing the puppet thing to the music.
yeah, pretty much.
That's like the
and then,
best part of the movie.
and then this guy comes in, and he's like, you could tell that this janitor guy brings people down here a lot, because he's just like, all right, you guys gotta go. And then he's looking at the janitor guy like, motherfucker, kind of deal. And so I was just like, dang, we paid X amount of money to go watch the museum, and I got a lifetime of an experience. I got a good story out of this, kind of deal. It was great. I had a good time.
Wholesome.
Man, last time, like someone walked up to me saying like, "Hey, man, you like puppets?" I had a way worse experience.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Are you trying to talk about like that one? What's his name? We just talked. Oh, Jeff Dunham. How he was talking about like, yeah, I can't go to jail because they'd be like, hey, puppet boy, make this talk.
Not the kind of
Oh,
puppetry I was looking forward to.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, the Muppets were all really good. I really, really, yeah, just like Pale. I liked, and I thought it was really cute that, what's his name? The tiger, uh, from Mr. Rogers, that he got his own little animated
Oh yeah,
show.
Daniel. Daniel the
Yeah,
Tiger?
Daniel Tiger. Yeah, Daniel
Oh my
Tiger.
gosh!
Yeah, well, yeah, he's had a little show, but he's animated, so like kids can
Yeah.
Yeah.
buy
Oh,
stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen him, but this is. Oh my god! I didn't
Yeah.
realize Mr. Rogers' character.
Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, I had no idea Daniel Tiger was a Mr. Rogers character, but I've seen like videos with him in it, just like plastered all over YouTube. I had no idea.
Yeah,
The
no,
more
he's
you
Daniel
know.
Tiger. Yeah.
Wow, he's got red pilled.
All right. So
Oh, jeez.
I guess we just move on. Anything else? Anything else you want to add, Nesca?
No, I'm good with that. Thank you.
All right.
Now
Move
we
on
talk
to
about the
Alex
man
too.
who who really sort of brought puppetry into like the modern mainstream. I would say, at least in the United States.
The who?
Who?
Who are you?
Who are you?
The puppet
Seth
boy.
MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane, obviously. Now let's talk about Family Guy for like an hour.
Was that Royal who just did that Peter Griffin impression?
Oh, sweet, I'm a freaking puppet. Lois, look, my eyes are ping pong balls.
Oh, Peter.
Are you talking about Mr. Henson?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Mr.
That's-
Henson. I adore Jim Henson. Like
That's like the next topic we'll get
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Henson. What a man. If
What a
I
mighty
could
good man.
if I could have a time machine, I would just want to have a talk with him. Just to
Oh yeah.
man, he was so cool. Such a hard worker and such an amazing human being. I mean, sure he has his flaws, or he had some flaws that not everyone is perfect, minus Mr. Rogers.
Time
But
to cancel Jim Henson.
Yeah. Like,
how
and even like,
dare.
well, there was like the whole, cause yeah, there was the whole like, he didn't have like the best relationship with his wife, but they still respected each other and still like worked together.
That's all you
Which-
could ask for.
Yeah, I think that's pretty. I think it's nice that they were able to like still keep like a professional relationship going and still have that level of respect for each other. One of my favorite things about that's like one of my favorite Jim Henson things I found out about recently was the Wilkins coffee commercials.
No,
Oh, yeah, I
shit,
love
hell yeah,
those.
that shit was great.
I-
Memes.
It's just like it honestly, yeah. If they feel so ahead of their time, some of them. It's just like, look, this camera takes it shoots people who don't drink Wilkins coffee.
Well,
Any-
want any?
oh,
Anybody else? I love he just straight up pulls out a gun and shoots someone. This has
He
been a
just
public service.
continues like nothing happened.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, the deadpan faces make it all the more funny.
I love the one where he's like, "Are you next?" and just points the gun at the camera.
Oh.
He's like, anybody else?
Yeah. I love it.
So
Oh.
good.
They are like amazing. They're too good.
They made so many of them too.
Man,
I wanna-
those things are like whoever greenlit all that shit was just they were beyond their time, because they are
Yeah.
amazing memes.
There needs to be like a spiritual successor to like the Wilkins coffee bits with like for like a new product. I feel like that's something Mountain Dew would do.
Yeah, I can see Mountain Dew doing that.
yeah, probably.
Just like make some like random puppets like, do you drink Mountain Dew? No. just like
Smack.
slices then
Kapow!
slices Achilles tendon.
Oh my gosh, get yeeted is what I can hear them saying.
Spin his head around 180 degrees.
This guy doesn't drink Mountain Dew. He's kind of sus.
Yeah, I can see that. Mountain Dew X Among Us. Hey, actually Mountain Dew. I don't understand why Mountain Dew never partnered with or
You
like
know,
tried to
some
have some
people
sort
who
of
don't
Among
drink
Us.
Wilkins coffee are rather sussy.
Oh, that's good.
They're rather sussy baka.
So see if I...
What? This has been is like we're calling an emergency meeting to discuss Wilkins coffee. I would love it if someone like went so far as to make an Among Us bit in the style of the Wilkins coffee commercials. Like they get like an old grainy camera and everything.
I can see someone doing that. I
That'd be
don't see why they
great.
wouldn't.
Because they already did the fake Family Guy cutaway.
All right. Anything else? Anything else to add for TV shows, Alex?
No.
Wait,
I
which
think
Alex? Oh, him.
I think we're getting ready to. Oh, Blark and Son is also really cool.
I never heard that one.
It started out as like a show on Instagram, then Comedy Central picked it up and started putting it on their YouTube channel. It's like a simple like crazy father and his gamer boy son, like having trouble seeing eye to eye on things, and it just gets really bonkers and crazy. There's also like one thing that's really cool about it is there's like a full making of series where it discusses like the puppet making process and how they design the sets, which is really cool. Like, because they talk about how they did all of the sets were designed practically. They didn't use any like visual effects for them. So there's like a set that they did that was just like it was like in a spaceship, like looking at the moon. And so for like the star field, they just had like a black piece of fabric with like little bits of fiber optic wire poking through for the stars. And they found like a toy moon at Toys R Us for like $20, and then they like put that on there, and it looked perfect.
Nice.
Or they would just like for the spaceship, they would just go to Home Depot and look for like valves and like toilet pipes, anything that looks kind of like vaguely futuristic. And especially what looks really cool is like the bedroom set that they did for like the son. They would have like they had like a keyboard and mouse that they didn't even have to make them from scratch. They just found like a super tiny like keyboard and mouse at Best Buy or something, and they just used that.
That's great. Anyway, I guess we'll move on to Alex and Menace.
Um, you guys said a lot. And the one thing that hasn't really been brought up, I mean, there's a couple things, but the one I want to specifically talk about is like Puppet Pals from like Dexter's Lab. Like I don't know if you guys remember, like there's like, in the show sometimes there'd be like little commercial break segments, and sometimes it'd be like a live action segment where you have like the Puppet Pals, which is clearly like a parody of like Sesame Street and whatever, but like or even in university like would watch the show, and it's like I don't know, I just thought it was really funny 'cause
Those
it's just,
guys
You talking about
oh,
the one
with the green hat.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, hey Puppet Pal Mix, hey
Yeah.
Puppet Pal Clam or something like that. I can't
Yeah,
remember what
Yeah.
that show that the Crunk watches.
yeah, and it's like their joke is like they just bonk each other on the head. It's like
Bonk.
yeah, I don't know, I guess that was always like really funny to me.
Why don't they adapt
I
that
still
for a
think it's
show on the
funny because
CW?
it's, oh no, a really edgy version where he's just like an axe murderer, but with like a mallet or a bat or whatever.
He wants people to bonk him on the head just so he can feel something again.
Yeah, and it's like very clearly a parody of Sesame Street, which makes it funny because it's clearly just kind of playing up those like little tropes and just making it kind of edgy and stuff like that.
Oh.
Like there's a one where there's like it's a commercial in universe and they're selling jeans, and it's just like really, it's like a parody of like 90s commercials that are sort of like avant-garde and they're like weirdness. But it's like selling jeans and they're like, hey, Puppet Pal Mix, those sure are some sexy jeans or something like that, and it's like really
Oh.
weird.
For
Have
that
you
one.
seen the SNL skit where they like did recreated Joker but with Sesame Street characters?
I don't think I have.
No.
They made it. It was like Joker, but it's about Oscar the Grouch.
Oh
And it shows him like it shows him in his therapy session. It's like, how does that make you feel? He just like looks really serious. At the therapist goes, grouchy.
Okay, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised because I saw a couple years ago there was a Game of Thrones Sesame Street parody.
Oh, that's when HBO
Bro,
what
isn't
HBO
there a
bought
Nickelodeon?
Sesame Street.
Isn't there a
Yeah.
Nickelodeon show coming out that is
Yeah, it's
nothing
all
but, like,
puppets.
yeah,
Oh yeah, it was called Barbarian and the Troll or something like that.
something like that.
Yeah, we do a little trolling.
But
Damn.
but yeah, Puppet Pals, that was really funny. And I mentioned briefly like Action League now, but I just can't remember much about that show. I just remember it was a thing that existed when I was younger.
I liked. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was just gonna say when I was younger. Continue.
Oh no. I was just gonna say the fact that I like the movie parodies that they were doing for one episode, where one of the titles for it was I'm getting my Jurassic. Fuck. Well, I forgot what it was, but it was it was like a pun on the movie title. It was Oh yeah, it was I'm Armageddon out of here or something like that. I thought it was
Oh,
funny. That, like, honestly, that was like the better one. All the other ones were kind of like like the movie titles, the puns.
Does anyone know about Eureka's Castle or Wienerville?
no, I
Nope.
don't. It sounds like
No,
they sound fake, but
All I know is they were both filmed at Universal Studios in Florida.
really.
Yeah,
Well,
they
I mean,
were
a
one.
lot of stuff was so.
Yeah, they were both like Nickelodeon shows that were filmed at like the Nickelodeon studios, and they involved puppets.
Yeah.
Oh no, I looked it up and I just saw Nanoland.
Nah.
Oh, fucking Nanoland! Oh my gosh, fucking
Ruster.
Nanoland. Ruster.
Oh, big hugs.
okay. And
Wait, there
the last thing I want to mention, because
like
I'm
it.
like out right now, since you guys mentioned all the other stuff, and Teletubbies, mainly just because I haven't seen any. I just remember very distinctly the very creepy vibes of that show because it's very quiet and like there's like these giant like the baby in the sky and like the
Yeah.
costumes are like they're like 10 foot tall costumes and like
Yeah, with like the big bunnies to make them look smaller.
Oh hell
yeah,
yeah.
it's like
I do like that. That's clever.
yeah, and then there's also I feel like you guys mentioned this, but I had to like run very quickly to do something in the middle
Oh,
of this,
go
but
for it. Go for it.
because I see it on the list here for someone wrote this. It wasn't me who wrote this down, but like you guys mentioned like Barney and like Bear in the Big Blue House. I don't know if you guys talked about that or when I left or
No.
No one
oh
talked about that.
okay. Well, I can't say much about Barney 'cause I never really saw it, but Bear in the Big Blue House. That show was
Yes.
cool. It was very cozy. There's like the good night song or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
there's
shit was
like
cozy.
I had it on VHS, but like an episode of it or something. I think it might have been like the toilet episode that people seem to remember the best. I remember Defunct
Yeah.
Land, I think, talked about it. I think it was him, but
Yeah, it was him.
yeah, I just remember that like the puppets and I don't know. It's become I don't know. Sometimes I use some of the images there from the show like a meme, like it's like a mouse or something, and like I can't. I wish I'd rewatched this for to actually give something other than I remember this as a kid, but I haven't seen it in years. But um, yeah, I don't know. This is some things I can mention right now. I don't know.
All
That's
right.
about it. Someone say something.
Yeah.
That's about it. Okay.
It's neat.
I guess we just move on to the next topic, the Jim Henson appraisal section, you know. And we'll start with Alex and Menace. You can go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to quickly talk about Dinosaurs, the show.
Yeah.
Mainly just because I want to talk about like some of the the last episode because it's just funny that it's like really
Oh.
dark.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
or just like other really weird stuff. Like I remember, like I haven't, like I didn't grow up with the show, but I've seen like little bits and pieces of it and stuff like that. Like I'm forgetting about like some moments, but there's like one where someone described it and it sounded like the most funniest thing ever, where they get stuck in an amusement park or something, uh, in some episode, and there's like I'm trying to remember what the joke was. Like someone mentioned this, but no, but yeah, just like the show and the finale and
Yeah.
also just like a lot of the show I forgot like the more serious stuff like the show tackled surprisingly like some pretty progressive topics like LGBTQ
Fornoids.
and yeah there's like LGBTQ themes and kind of racism discrimination type episodes where it's like it's okay to be different and like it doesn't make you like worse
Oh,
and like
seriously?
environmental yeah there's like an environmentalism thing which I mean the last episode's very obviously about that but um it like tackled some LGBTQ related themes which I think it's there's a I can't remember. I have to like read about it. It's like one of the first shows that in American television, I think, where it positively tackles such a theme. Except obviously, there's like a metaphor with it. I don't think it's like directly like this dinosaur likes this other guy dinosaur, but
Right.
it was
I
a
know there's
pretty
like a
progressive
steroids
show for its
episodes.
time. Yeah, it was a pretty progressive show for its time. It's very interesting when you look into it. Like it just seems like a goofy show with dinosaurs, but it actually had like a lot to say about current
Yeah.
American society and culture. It's very, very interesting. I
I've
should
heard
watch
the show
more.
has only gotten better over the years.
Yeah, people seem to really like it as time more than they did at the time.
I'm gonna have to watch it. All I know, all I know about that show is the depressing ending, and no one likes the baby.
Right.
The baby's funny. I don't know.
Not the mama. I love the baby. Funny, funny,
Yeah.
funny.
He is the baby. Gotta love him.
The baby.
Let's go.
Kick the baby.
No.
No.
Oh,
Don't
don't
kick
kick the
me.
baby.
The Ice Age baby.
Yeah, I see.
Oh Jesus!
No.
I saw. Have you
Okay,
seen
kick
that?
that baby.
Have you seen that YouTube video? That's like this thing never shits or something. Oh God, I love it. Hilarious.
Oh boy.
Alright. Anything else you want to add, Alex?
Oh, I think
sorry.
I just want to bring up dinosaurs. You guys probably know more about the other things on this list, so you guys go ahead and do your thing.
Okay. Alright. We'll move on to Alex 2.
There's a lot of really good Jim Henson stuff. I really loved the because I had the Muppet movie on DVD when I was younger, and I grew to appreciate that more and more as I watched it over the years. That one's always great. That Defunct Land series talking about the life of Jim Henson is so good. I I will just like every once in a while I'll just rewatch it again. Oh, what else was there? Because I know that like Jim Henson for a while was like scared of being pigeonholed into being like just a children's entertainer,
Yeah.
and that was a part of the reason why he did stuff like Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal.
Labyrinth. I really liked Labyrinth. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it still has really good music.
Yeah, because David Bowie.
very charming movie.
Oh, wait, it's
You
about
remind me of the babe.
talking about these, crystal balls.
Oh, what you
Right.
said?
Yeah, remind me of the babe.
Babe with the
What power?
power of hoodoo.
Who do you do?
Remind me of the babe.
He's just like kicking puppets around.
Yeah, he's just kicking them off people's hands, breaking a few fingers here and there.
It's good.
Man, Jim Henson, dude, what an awesome guy. Did you guys ever see the Jim Henson Muppet? No, what was it called? It was like Creature. It was a sci-fi. It was a sci-fi competition. I forgot what it was called.
Oh,
But it was
Creature Shop or Creature Contest. It was
yeah,
like a
like
sci-fi show, right?
Yeah. Shit. I forgot it came like right after a show called Face Off.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, Face Off was amazing.
Jim Henson's Creature Shop challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that shit was
Ooh.
cool. I think they made their own Skeksis too and everything. And dude,
Oh.
that shit was amazing. I loved it. I loved every single second of those episodes. I even talked about that to that lady, and they're like, "Oh, well, obviously they're like." I was like, "Oh yeah, of course, of course." But I love that sense of uh, of showing like, oh, like okay, this is the design I'm gonna go for, and this is what I'm gonna be making and stuff like that. And so it's like I was talking to that person. I was like, man, I'm so hyped. So like how cool of this to exist. And she was like, yeah, that does bring into the forefront of how cool or how people really liked it for what it was. And just like Jim Henson is just oh man, like that guy. Like I would love to sit down and talk to him. Um I would love it if they had like I know that they do art books nowadays, and I have I think I only have like Over the Garden Wall and a couple of other art books, and it's really cool it's really cool to like see and hear people talk about how Jim Henson was and or like how he was as a human being and how he was as a worker. And I remember watching some documentary about like the person who played Elmo or who brought Elmo to life and how he met Jim Henson. And Jim Henson was just a very cool and chill dude about things and was just like, oh well, you know what, like giving him pointers, hearing him and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
how one thing I love a lot is seeing the Muppet History person on Twitter, and they'll post videos of like Frank Oz and Henson just just shooting the shit as Kermit and Fozzie, just shooting the shit as their characters.
Oh yeah, it's great. That was like there was like that test footage that they did for the Muppet movie
hmm
where it was just where it's just like them going to like a farm and like them just improvising with Kermit and stuff, and you can like hear them laughing at themselves as they do it.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's like you're not real. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Look
I've
out
seen
this.
that. That's
Yeah.
great.
You,
I'm
you,
sorry, I didn't want to say it.
you have a wire on your arm. What?
I'm, I'm sorry. I feel bad or whatever you
It's so
said
good.
after.
Oh, but like one of the best Muppet things that I love to see, it's that. Have you guys seen that clip of the girl reciting the alphabet with Kermit?
Oh,
Yeah. I've seen
oh
that
yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. It was.
It's so good because like you're just like, oh, you just keep saying Cookie Monster, I'm leaving, and then the girl just randomly says, I love you, I love you too.
Aw.
It melts my heart every single time. I love it so much. And like
Wholesome.
you can hear just like Jim Henson's like sort of like chuckling a little bit, and just you can hear like how because I remember hearing that he was really good with kids too.
Yeah. What I don't know. What an amazing person. Like I don't know. He was very talented and very much one of those kinds of people that he there was there was always something for him to do. He couldn't. It seemed like he could never take a break.
He's
Like
like
he
one of
just
yeah, he kept working until he died.
yeah.
He
Like
was there was never like a retirement for him.
there wasn't, and he was so dedicated to his craft. Like Jim Henson is one of those few people that is like personally for me a very big inspiration and a very big like I don't know, like he's such a role model in my opinion because he's not only a hard worker, but he does his best to. I mean, he has flaws, but he does his best to be good too. And
Oh
then
yeah,
all the stuff that he's made, like the Dark Crystal, the Labyrinth. I mean, sure, I don't think I don't think both of them did very well. I do know, like in the Dark Crystal, they had to go ahead and what was it? Dub over the beginning because it was like people were just too confused, and it
yeah,
kind of sucks because like I tried watching the beginning with just hearing like the soundtrack or the OST of the movie, and then muting
right.
the narrator. And yeah, it works really well to like set that really creepy tone and like you don't know what's going on, so you feel just as lost as like the main
Right.
character is themselves. But it does make sense for a broader audience to have a narrator to not spoon feed them, but like to help them to help introduce them into the world, and rather just tossing them in there and saying, "Here, learn how to swim or drown," kind of deal.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
hmm
But it is really cool to like learn that someone who you respect is like is more or less the same person out of the camera as they are on camera.
And even the fact that like for me I do VTubing on Twitch, right? So for me, like me growing however much I grow on that platform, I like to try and put spotlight onto other creators in my community. And I love that that's something that Jim Henson does, like, or that's what I would say is inspiration for me, that rubs off on me from Jim Henson, is that he very much like to give smaller puppeteers like that chance of like, hey, I'll give you a chance, let's see what you got, kind of deal, and not just be like, no, I'm sorry, like I need to rub shoulders with the like he was very
He would give people ladders.
Yeah, he would give them opportunities, he would give them ladders, and he would be like, hey, if you think you got what you got, show me what you got. Like, I think that's kind of what happened with one of the like the Elmo guy kind of deal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's just,
life is too short to pass up on people who really can do great things.
yeah, and you don't know if they could do great things. And that's something for me that uh like, like, that is a creator that I'm sure he played with or he used Muppets as like an art form to tell the stories, but he is like, just like how we were talking about Mr. Rogers, they are very good role model people. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and there was one thing I really love about like the Jim Henson story is like even though he's this huge this like really huge influential figure but he got into puppetry just on a whim.
Oh
He's like,
yeah.
oh, they're looking for a puppet guy. I guess I could give it a try. And then he changed the game.
No, yeah, didn't he do it for like his
I
TV
think
station on college or something?
he was either in college or high school, but it was like he was just like, oh, they're looking for a puppet guy. I want to get into TV, so I guess I'll just go to the library and get a book on puppetry. And he just like made the first draft of Kermit out of like a sleeve of one of his mother's coats, and just an empire was built.
Yes.
That's like some butterfly effect shit. Like if he had not seen that article in the newspaper, none of that would probably exist now.
And crazy,
Yeah,
crazy to think about.
it is crazy. What are y'all's opinions on Jim Henson?
He's pretty cool from what I know. I don't know. I can't have an in-depth conversation about him like you
Yeah.
two did, but he seems pretty cool from what I've looked into and
Yeah.
what he's done for like when you think puppetry, you associate the like when people think animation, people think like Walt Disney. It's kind of the same thing with like puppetry. You think Jim Henson sort of
He
thing,
was like, because for the longest time, like if you wanted to get into puppetry, like Jim Henson was sort of like the biggest and only game in town. That was like a big thing for a while. Like if because like a lot of people who worked for Jim Henson, whenever like a project wrapped, they couldn't they there was like nowhere else they could go because like for a while Jim Henson was sort of the only person making like big scale puppetry stuff.
Yeah, pretty
So,
much.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but
it sounded weird when I said, but yeah.
oh yeah, but like he gave them, but he like as like time went on, he would give his people like Nesca was talking about, like he would give people like more creative freedom and just create as many opportunities as he could.
Yeah, like for example, like in the notes, like we have like the Sesame Street and Jim Henson, and so with that being said, and also Fraggle Rock. So Jim Henson, of course, he spread himself very thin with a lot of his projects, but at that same time, like I said, that's what gave him the opportunity, or that's what gave him that opportunity to go ahead and give other people a shot of like, you know what, I'm gonna leave these puppeteers that are important, parts of my team, or like they're integral to my team, but you know what, I'm gonna leave you guys here in New York or wherever to shoot Sesame Street because we still need to get that done while I need to go over here and do the Fraggle Rock or do Dark Crystal or do whatever that they were doing. Like, he was spread out, but that gave him the opportunity to give other people that leadership role, whether they were asking for it or not, to like
Mhm.
to because I feel like when Jim Henson was alive, everybody depended a lot on him, and like they depended on him as that kind of person of like, you know what, like you obviously know what you're doing, you and your team. Like he was like the foundation for a lot of what was being created and stuff, but also had that input from like Frank Oz and all the other people that would work with him. But I'm really glad that even though it in the end like hurt him to like go and spread himself out so much, but I'm really glad that, and I hope that uh wherever he's at, he sees
What he's
what
inspired and
yeah
what
what he
his
yeah
legacy.
yeah what like that his legacy, like what his legacy turned into, and how that effect has affected other people, like they don't have to be doing puppetry, but just the fact of how he acted in life really affects other people who know about him or get
And
taught about him.
Yeah, and even though like the Muppets or anything, like a lot of Jim Henson stuff is kind of like either dormant or inactive. Like a lot of people will still see Muppets of like, oh, it's Kermit.
Yeah, he really made an icon,
Yeah,
an
out of
unforgettable icon.
out of a coat sleeve.
And ping pong balls.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else you want to add, Alex? Alex too.
Um, the turtle costumes in the Ninja Turtle movies were cool.
And
Oh yeah, he
TMNT.
did
Hell
those.
yeah.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Those
Oh,
are
we watched that movie a while back too.
Oh jeez.
those are radical, dude.
Those
Rad.
are really good. Like in the first movie,
Yeah,
especially, they're very articulate, and well, it's also the lighting that makes them look better. But like
right.
versus the third movie where they look very weird. But sorry, because you mentioned the turtle costumes, and I always have to think of that obligatory image of like the rotting
The
old costume.
the rotting Donatello.
Oh,
I
that.
wish. Oh, have you guys seen the that clip from the from Oprah with like the Ninja Turtles on it?
No.
No.
It
Oh,
It's
sounds
like
familiar.
okay, it's like it's so like it was like to promote the tour, like the concert tour for the Ninja Turtles,
Oh
and
wait. Is it like it has the children in the audience?
yeah, they had the kids in the audience. So it was like so Oprah just says like, "Have you considered a relationship with April?" And like and they would start saying like,
Oh,
and like we've been trying to see if she's interested in an interspecies relationship, but you know she just can't hold her breath long enough, you know.
I
And
remember.
then it
Okay,
cuts
yeah,
to the
seen that.
kids in the audience, and they look absolutely mortified. It's so
Oh my
good.
god. No, that's not true. You're lying. You're
No,
lying.
It's true.
I'm not.
I can confirm. I've seen it.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Oh jeez. Jeez,
I gotta watch
that's
that.
crazy.
I gotta watch that later.
I gotta watch that later too. Like, holy crap, link, please.
Send the link.
That
Kidding.
sounds.
They straight up say like, I it's amazing.
Oh, that sounds so cursed. I love it.
They're like casually laughing about it like they're just guys in the locker room just like making jokes, and it's really weird.
But I feel like that's how the turtles would be though, IRL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll move on to I know Nesca like talked a lot about Jim Henson. You want like anything else to say? Anything more to add?
Well, the most I can say about Jim Henson is that he's a big inspiration. It's a big inspiration to me and a lot of how I conduct myself when I work with anybody. Like for example, I'm working with Alex Likes Toons here on a special stream I'm gonna be doing where it's just like theme park stuff. But yeah, like I don't know. When it comes to Jim Henson, I think he was and still is a very big icon in the eyes of anything with puppets. Uh, like we said, very much a wonderful man as he lived, and a legacy that he has made um, that is and will be forever remembered in a positive life and a positive light. But yeah, that's all I have to really say about that.
Yeah.
All right. Uh, I don't really have much to say. Like I respect Jim Henson's work. I grew up with all like most of the Muppet movies. I grew up with the Spanish version of Sesame Street. Like
Hey,
Oh,
uh
Plaza
then
Sesamo.
Plaza Sesamo. Uh
beautiful.
I did want to bring up just the I'm kind of disappointed with Netflix for not making Dark Crystal season 2. Uh
Yes.
like I I really want to
And
know
canceling Tuca and Birdie,
and canceling to Converti. But
but it is back, so that's good at
I
least.
I really want to know what happens next. I feel like uh at least I have a theory about Deet. I think it's Deet. Uh
Geek. Yes.
the magical one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Accidentally just wiping out her race or
Oh.
moving them to a different dimension, trying to save them from the skeet ski or whatever.
oh,
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Like, cause in season 1 they show her like what like going like overflowing with dark power or something in like a
Yeah.
short scene. So I
Right.
always felt that she just accidentally either wipes out the species or moves them somewhere else.
That's an interesting take on that. I have to watch The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance again because it's been a hot minute since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got nothing else to say about like J Henson stuff. So we'll move on to Pale.
I feel like y'all said it a lot as is. I'm just gonna say Elmo was like my childhood favorite.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Elmo
you're
is
good.
cool.
Oh wait, one more thing. This is like geez, this is something I still do it sometimes. When I'm really happy, I would just shower the Elmo's World theme in the shower.
Aw, that's cute.
This is good. I like that. One thing I will say about Elmo, and I don't know why, but whenever I don't know why, but seeing like Tickle Me Elmo figures, for some reason, whenever like they're destroyed in like a microwave or whatever, they do the most bizarre, like horrifically funny stuff.
They want to try
Like-
and scar you. That's
They
why.
they feel
Like,
pain.
because like there was one episode of like where they try this, they were about to like stick an Elmo in the microwave, and it starts like they hit the button and it starts laughing and it falls onto the floor and it's like starts like doing like a worm, like it starts crawling like a worm and goes, oh, can't stop.
Oh.
It just goes, can't stop,
Cause
and that's it.
Tickle Me Elmo feels pain. Okay. All right.
It's like,
What about you, Royal Foil?
So, like everybody else said, I mean, I don't really have that much to say, but I will say this: is that my favorite film from him is the one with the face, Limbo.
Oh.
'Cause, you know, it's based.
Nice.
Oh, sorry.
I just said nice.
Yeah, but it's basically about that you have a face, and then he's basically talking about different things that he sees, and it just is pretty wild.
This is a Jim Henson movie.
Yeah, it's like one of those short films that he did, like way
I
before
see.
Sesame Street.
Oh, I see.
All right. All right.
But yeah,
I'll
that's
have to, I'll have to look that up. I've never heard of that. I'll have to look that up.
yeah. Like the reason I know about it is because of Blame It on Jorge. That's pretty much most of the stuff I get from.
Gotcha.
Nice.
All right. Cool.
All right. Cool. Let's move on to the next topic. The foreign properties. You know, anything like outside
Like,
outside of the U.S. of A. I think we already touched upon a couple of them, but
Yeah,
because we had a
I jumped
spitting
ahead to the
image,
Hope thing, so I was like, I don't have
Thunderbolt
anything
Fantasy.
to add.
yeah, we'll go like bottom up. So Royal Foil, you have any foreign property puppet show that you know about?
I got my notes.
Well, I looked at the list. Let me check right quick. It was the mouse.
Topo Gigio?
No.
Yeah, Topo
Yes,
Gigio.
it is.
Like I love
Oh.
the movements. Like the one clip I saw of him, he was on the Ed Sullivan show.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was pretty wholesome, honestly. You know, I
Sounds
mean,
cool.
pretty much all I can really say about it, honestly.
All right, I will move on to Pale.
I was just gonna talk about Topo Gigio. Okay, so this is something I saw, like, I don't even know what channel, which Spanish channel. I remember for me it was more of, it creeped me out. Cause he walked and moved his little feet. I was like, "Ugh." And he looked so happy. I'm like, no one can be that happy. You can't fool me. I didn't know this, but apparently it's an Italian show. I was like, oh, okay.
Huh.
It's from the early 1960s. Yeah. Let's see. He got 3 films. One's like a Japanese Italian co-production called Topo Gigio and the Missile War, and I'm like, okay, that sounds fun, right?
Oh no.
Nothing more fun than war.
Yes. The other two were the Magic World of Topo Gigio and Topo Gigio. I think this one's like, I don't know, I think it's Italian, but I couldn't find anything on it. No Castello de Conde Dracula? I'm like, Dracula? Okay. Here's a little fun, I guess, word cameo or something. In the Santa Claus, the Tim Allen one, when like he's giving like alternate like Santa to like the police, he imitates like Ed Sullivan, and he says like Topo Gigio.
Oh. Oh,
Cause he
Hisho.
appeared on the yeah, cause like Royal Foil mentioned he appeared on the Ed Sullivan show,
Yeah.
and he dressed as Santa Claus in one episode. Oh, and here's another one. He also in the Billy Joel song "Tell Her About It," like at the near the beginning of the music video, like Ed Sullivan's like on the TV or something, and he says "Thank you, Topio Gigio" before like Billy Joel sings. I just thought
Oh,
that was neat.
that's
Awesome.
cool.
The yeah, I
Man, are
think
there
I have
any?
one more. I have one more, but I think it's more so for the next section. It talks about music. I mean, it's still forging, but it's also music related, sort of. I don't know if I should mention it here or should mention in the next topic.
Is it the chicken?
Yes,
Yes. Mention it here.
right here, right now. Okay. El Chichi. Okay, for my fellow Mexican friends or anyone watching or listening, do y'all remember El Chichicolote from like the early 2000s? It's okay. Hold on. At least
Sounds
I
fun.
remember it from the early 2000s. Um, it might be like this Mexican cartoon. I don't know why my notes say late 80s, because I swear it was in the 2000s. I don't know. Maybe I
Maybe it's
wrote something
reruns.
wrong. Maybe. It's like he was like a cartoon character, but he was like a kind of like I guess sort of like gorillas, sort of,
Ooh.
but not as good. Or actually no, a better representation would say is the chipmunks.
Right.
He would either be like represented as a cartoon or like a costume character in music videos.
Right.
He'll like typically sing like traditional or popular songs around that era. Um,
I mean, they did have
Wait a
reminds
minute.
they
Wait a
did
minute.
do.
Wait a minute. Nesska has to leave.
Oh,
You want to
I'm
say
sorry.
like
I
the
didn't want to
goodbyes?
say. Okay, I was like,
it's okay.
I didn't want to say like on stream.
No,
We're not
it's
streaming.
alright. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
we can.
no, I have to take off. I have to go get some gifts for some fellow burb mates, burb
Oh,
friends. I have to get some
yeah.
gifts for some burb friends. And so yeah, thanks for having me on. I very much enjoy talking about all this you could never leave here. Oh no, my soul is bound here.
No one,
Whoa.
no one leaves.
I just want to say thank you so much for having me, and thank you for considering having me here and talking about like one of my favorite things to do, which is like talking about theme parks that we did a little bit with, and the puppets. So yeah, I just want to say thank you so much to Alex, Alex too, or I like to call Alex too, Alex Toons, and Pale and Royal and Occult Tuner too. Thank you for having me so much. Very much appreciate y'all.
Hey, thank you
Thank
for
you for
coming.
coming in.
Yeah,
This is
Pleasure
fun.
is ours.
Well, thanks guys. You guys have a good one. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
See
Bye.
ya.
Alright,
Bye.
see you.
Take care.
Alright, who was Alex? Who was talking about something?
No, it was me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or
Go
he
ahead.
was gonna say something. No, you were gonna say something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember they did make gorillas puppets for like a promotional thing back in like
Oh.
I think it was around the time of Demon Days,
Mhm.
and they just had them like up in like a balcony like Statler and Waldorf.
Nice.
That's about all I remember of it though. But you said it was this was a music act that was like part animated and part like puppet.
Maybe I'm bad at wording it. It's like a, I guess, Mexican band or something. It was like the one that would sing it would be like this like chipmunk, tuned chicken,
Whoa.
chicken rooster and like cowboy
I'm
attire.
I'm pulls up chair, pulls out a clipboard. I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah. Pretty much just he sung like songs that were popular, and as I like to say, back when I guess Mexican music videos were like in the 2000s, horny on main, because they would show like
they still
boobas.
are.
They still are. Oh my god.
all
Jesus.
all Spanish media is horny on Maine. What are you talking about?
It's supposed to be for children, but it's still pretty horny for kids, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just
That's just in
honestly,
general.
the
Mhm.
United States is both like too prudish and also too shameless with sexual media at the same
Mhm.
time. It's really bizarre.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, I mean, they're prudish in terms of like they don't like when like they're like, oh, think about the kids and stuff like that, but then at the same time they're yeah, it's like weird. Like sometimes they're like really like they don't care. Um, like
But at the same time, they only say think of the children when it's about giving LGBT people
yeah,
rights.
yeah. Oh, I had a big
Mhm.
argument with someone about that yesterday, but
Oh.
no, yeah, like this is not related to like a movie per se, but like the Super Bowl
Mhm.
like 2 years ago when it was Jennifer Lopez and Shakira performing, and there was like a lot of like these like clearly like Karen types who are like, this is sexual and inappropriate. These Hispanic
Mhm.
women are corrupting the minds of our American
Oh
children
no!
and
Ooh,
stuff like
ooh,
that.
ooh, ooh!
But then
Are
but
you
then
sure? Are you
like
Oh,
sure you wanna? Are you sure to want to roll that back?
but
oh,
then
I
like
remember. I
a year
remember
ago,
that.
no one complained about Adam Levine or whatever. How do we say his name from Maroon 5, like being all shirtless and
Yeah.
gyrating and stuff. It's like you guys were very quiet when he does it because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a hot guy, but
Hypocrisy.
you know. Or I mean,
Oh.
Yeah.
or same with men also, where it's like a Lil Nas X can do his thing and like men freak out. But like you can have like some random like girl doing the same thing and it's like, oh, it's hot, who cares? It's very weird. Sorry, that's a
Yeah.
tangent, not to get into that, but you know.
Oh no,
No,
no!
it's
It's
okay.
like it's
I
that's something I
agree.
noticed like that I saw with like in like I'll try to keep this to a minute. You can cut this out.
Alf is an alien from the planet Melmac who follows an amateur radio signal to Earth and crash lands into the garage of the Tanners, a suburban middle-class family who lives in the San Fernando Valley area of California. The family consists of social worker Willie, Max Wright, his wife Kate Ann Sheehan, their teenage daughter Lynn, Andrea Elson, younger son Brian, Benji Gregory, and their pet cat Lucky, whom Alf wishes to consume. Unsure what to do, the Tanners take Alf into their home and hide him from the Alien Task Force, a part of the U.S. military that specializes in aliens, and their nosy neighbors Trevor and Raquel Ochmanik, John LaMotta and Liz Sheridan, until Alf can repair his spacecraft. He generally hides in the kitchen. It is eventually revealed that Alf's home planet Melmac exploded, due to nuclear war. In the Season 1 episode, Pennsylvania 6-5000, Alf tries to convince the President of the United States to stop the nuclear program, as Alf fears that Earth might suffer a fate similar to Melmac's, though miscalculating his words causes the President and National Security to call the FBI to arrest Willie. Alf was off the planet when it was destroyed because he was part of the Melmac Orbit Guard. Alf, aka Gordon Shumway, is homeless, but he is not the last survivor of his species. He becomes a permanent member of the family, although his culture shock, survivor guilt, general boredom, despair and loneliness frequently cause difficulty for the Tanners. Despite the problems and inconveniences his presence brings into their lives, they grow to love him, though some episodes make it clear they are also afraid of how their lives would be turned upside down if word got out that he has been living with them. While most of the science fiction of Alf was played for comedic value, there were a few references to actual topics in space exploration. For example, Alf uses a radio signal as a beacon in the pilot episode. In the episode Weird Science, Alf tells Brian, who is building a
I
model
mentioned
of the
one more
solar
thing. It's the same thing as El Chicolote. It's just another one was El Morro, which was kind of like a kid. It's a slang word for like kid or dude. Same thing. Just like I guess like a representation of how people, or I guess men or males, wore like baggy shorts and shirts and a backwards hat, a hat backwards. Same
Yeah.
thing,
That,
chipmunk tuned voice. I'll have
That's
to link some stuff in a bit, but that's all I
that's
got for
100 Gex concert.
that's called style. Okay.
yes.
All right. I guess I'll just go on with my notes. I just gonna bring up like a couple Puerto Rican things. There's
Go
like this
for it.
the one band called Atención Atención, where their mascot is just a giant. It's like a guy in a frog suit. Uh, like seen out of context, it seems like either fake or like a Wiggles ripoff. Uh, I don't, but like it's just a band for like babies and stuff.
Yeah.
And from that tangent, I still can't find it, but I remember clearly commercials for like another kids band, but they were like animal superheroes, but the costumes themselves look like what's the word? They look like gimp gear, you know, like
Yeah.
funny like stuff you wear, like a mix between furries and leather people
Go on.
mixed together, but I cannot find what their name is. No matter what I put on Google, I could never find it. But I'm sure they exist.
This sounds vaguely familiar.
Uh, what's another thing? I want to bring up Burbujita y Bolillo, which is just like it's like
Is this like a Mexican thing also?
no, it's Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I was thinking.
I,
I thought you were talking about that fucking
I
duck or
think
something, or chick or
they're
whatever. I don't know, Chichi
they're
Lulute, whatever.
they're like I'm not even sure if they were supposed to be two little kids or two old people, and but they're I only bring it up because at the end of the show they always sing like a good night song to the kids and whatnot, and that shit is like nightmare fuel. Like, like I don't know how we put up with it, man, because that was like scary as fuck.
Dude, any show, any like little kids show that was like known for being trippy and weird just hits different once you hit a certain age.
Like
Yeah.
Teletubbies, except that was already creepy as a kid.
It's like, yeah, you're just like, you just rewatch it as an adult. I'm like, was there something wrong with me?
Yeah. And last thing I want to bring up is La Comay, which is probably one of the most popular shows in Puerto Rican TV. Uh, how can I explain this? It's like a mix between TMZ and Alex Jones combined together.
Jesus, that's one hell of a combo.
Because it was basically just like this puppet woman just bochinchando, like basically like just telling a bunch of rumors or whatnot and news rumors mixed with actual news during the show, mixed with like other random topics and whatnot. uh and it's
Oh
like
my god.
she was really popular and she's still very popular. Like I think the show is still airing. uh,
So like
and,
she was basically like a conspiracy theorist VTuber
no, not conspiracy theory. It is
or a gossip like
gossip.
a celebrity, a
Yeah.
TMZ, basically like a
Celebrity-
TMZ style show.
celebrity gossip, but it dwells into like actual news and stuff, and she'll just mock like politicians or like stuff that happens in the island and whatnot. The one strange aspect from that show itself is I remember watching as a kid. Uh, she would had segments where she points out flaws in movies and whatnot, like weird flaws. Uh, and like always thought that was weird because it was like a gossip show and whatnot, and then they'll go to weird random tangents on like, oh, here's a movie flaw you didn't see before, you know.
That's
But
like CinemaSins stuff.
they acted, but the way it's acted makes it really dramatic, and like she'll spend like 10 minutes on uh what was it? There's like this one scene in the Mummy 2 movie where the kid moves the toilet and the number of pipes changes and whatnot. Like uh uh something where you see a YouTube video on it, and it's like a 2 minute segment and whatnot. But like the like on my here would just extend that to be like 10 minutes of
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I don't know how they managed to extend that. I really don't know.
This sounds a bit. This sounds a wee bit cuckoo, and I'm kind of interested to see this. I'll have to look this up.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be. It's not really that interesting though.
Uh,
It's just a weird concept having like a
just like the
gossip
fact that it
show.
exists. The fact that it exists is the joke in a way.
It's a gossip show, uh, slash news show hosted by a puppet, and it's somehow like one of the most popular shows in like the Puerto Rican TV. And
Whoa.
Interesting.
Is it like relatively or no, it's one of the more popular shows in Puerto. I wonder if they could like have they ever gotten like celebrity guests or anything on there, or is it like really sort of enclosed?
is enclosed with like guest celebrities from the island basically, but
Right.
I haven't seen it since I was young, so I don't know. And maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But I remember it like uh I still remember it because it's just such a strange concept
Oh
to
yeah. I feel like it's something that Adult Swim would get the rights to air on April Fools.
have. All right, moving on. Alex 2. You got
Uh,
any foreign properties you want to talk about?
there's nothing crazy that I can think of, other than like Thunderbolt Fantasy and like Peely slash like Woolen Warriors, but we kind of already talked about that. Um, yeah, there's nothing I can. I know that there's like the Chinese puppetry where they have like the paper against like
Oh
a.
yeah.
I mean, all I know about that is it was in the Jaden Smith Karate Kid, and that's pretty
Yeah.
much all I know about it.
Shadow puppets.
Yeah, shadow puppets are pretty cool.
Hell yeah. All right. We'll move on to Alex and Menace. You got any foreign properties?
Sorry, my mom came to talk to me about something.
Hey.
The only foreign property I got is when you guys were mentioning that chicken thing that I can't pronounce the name of. It's like el
El
chiquilot.
chichicolote.
Yeah.
El chichicolote.
Yeah, the only
Yes.
thing I can think of right now is probably just like this show that my mom, just coincidentally, because she came in here, used to watch when she was like younger. It's like sort of an educational show from her generation. It was called like I didn't know this existed until my mom told me about it when I was younger. Odisea Burbujas, which is Odyssey. It's like Odyssey of Bubbles or something like that. I don't know. It's like
Whoa.
it's like sort of an educational show, if you will, for kids. But like there's like puppets and like stuff like that, but not entirely. But there is like little bits of it. I've never seen it. Obviously, it's not from my generation, and it never aired here, obviously. But that's something that comes to mind for foreign properties, I guess, if you will. That's the only thing that's the only thing I got because I'm like no one else is gonna mention that except for me. Um,
Oh, that. Okay.
Okay.
It's
Yeah. There's a
yeah.
picture there. Yeah. So I was like, okay, no one's gonna mention this. I'm gonna mention it. If maybe someone who's listening out there is like, oh, I know what this show is because my mom talked or dad talked
Whoa.
about it. But
Oh.
yeah.
Someone's gotta know.
Someone's gotta know. One of my 100 subscribers gotta know.
Yes.
I gotta like let all the fans know, all two of them.
All two of them. All right. Anyone else want to mention anything else before we move on to the next topic?
Um, not
Nope.
that I nothing I can think of.
All right. Okay. So last topic is just like miscellaneous and others and whatnot.
Ooh.
We'll start with like Alex and Menace. Anything in your mind? Anything else that we never like mentioned?
Toys, theme parks, music videos. I had like a music video one. Oh, we didn't talk about this. I mean, it's kind of music related. It's like an MTV thing. It's like there's like Triumph, the Insults, Comic Dog, and like those.
Oh yeah, Triumph. He's cool.
Yeah, which for some I hate that of all things I just saw it to Eminem. I'm not, but he existed before that, but yeah, it was like a little thing where he's just like a little like dog who like insulted oh, did we skip over? Oh. Okay, oh, never mind. I
He
was
was
reading
like
the comments.
You're good.
that's where Darkblade the Magic Master came from, or whatever he was called.
Yeah, pretty much. Um and yeah, I don't know. That's something
Don't
that
forget to
comes to
finish your
mind.
fillet of fish.
Yeah, and we mentioned the two old men from what's it called?
The Muppets.
The Muppets, yeah. Because we talked about the Muppets, but not that much. I think we didn't mention them for some reason. I like them.
Statler and Waldorf are great.
Yeah, I like them. I don't remember their names. I just know like every time I see them once in anything, they're very entertaining. I like them a lot.
I wish Statler and Waldorf would like just follow me in like a giant balcony all throughout my life.
Yes.
Like if I'm ever like talking with someone, or like if I'm ever at a party, which I definitely go to, and strike out with a female, which that rarely happens. But it'd be cool that like if they just see a cool guy like me strike out and they just make a joke at my expense. Oh.
But
Alright.
yeah, that's I feel like there's a music video that I'm like just not thinking about right now that has like puppets or something, but
Yeah, there has to be like a good puppet music video that I'm just not remembering.
videos like from Primus and stuff like that.
The only one I can think about is the Land of Confusion, the that had the splitting image puppets in a music video.
Land of Confusion.
Land of Confusion, yeah.
Welcome, lovers of illusion, to the castle of confusion.
Yeah, that's about all I can think of right now, just for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let me just like.
Oh god, I'm looking at it. I'm like, oof.
Oof.
The faces
there
are
was
very exaggerated.
there was Gullah Gullah Island.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
That was just more of a big costume.
I forgot what that is. I'm trying to remember isn't that like a Nickelodeon thing?
I think it was. It was either that or PBS, and it was like a big frog.
Land of Confusion by Genesis. Sorry, I'm just looking at
Oh,
but
I gotta look for it. I just remembered one.
There was there was part of Zaboomafoo.
So boom, yes, that is true.
The little leaping lemur who liked to bounce and play.
Yeah, such great memories.
My son.
Lemurs are cool.
They're small. They're baby.
cute,
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Alex and Menace?
Oh, I'm good for now. I just want to mention the Triumph the Insult Comic Dogs. I'm like that doesn't come up. I'm like that's something. But yeah.
I love that bit that he did with that they had Triumph do with Jack McBrayer at like the Wiener Circle hot dog stand.
What is do
I don't remember that.
I'm trying to think about it. I don't know, but I'm blanking.
I would highly recommend looking up that bit. Like, have you guys heard of the Wiener Circle in Chicago?
Never heard of it.
Nope.
It's basically it's like a regular hot dog stand by day, but at night, like the way all of the people working there are allowed to be like really rude. It's like, hey yo, come the fuck up here and take your order, bitch.
Oh.
So part of it was like they as part of like a joke, Conan O'Brien sent Jack McBrayer to the Wiener Circle at night to see how he would react. Which, like, Jack McBrayer, they sent this puppy dog of a human being to the Wiener Circle to work a shift there, and they just had like Triumph the Insult Dog come in.
All right. Let's move on to Alex 2. You got any other stuff you want to mention?
Nothing I can think of I do remember like at one point FAO Schwartz made like a build your own Muppet kit that I thought was really cool. Awesome. Yeah. I would like to try puppet stuff at some point in time in the future, but at the same time, it's like a really big. It's one of those things where it's like a pretty big initial investment for like some. Well, then again, I guess you could. That's one of the benefits of it is like you can, if you like have a good style, you can make anything work.
Yeah.
But I feel like I feel like puppetry is something I would sink a lot of time into, like get a puppet that looks halfway decent, and then I try it once, and I'm like, I don't really like doing this, and then all that setup just goes to waste. Like I feel like it's something it isn't something I would want to do unless I had an idea that I feel like could only work with puppets.
The Alex likes Toon puppet collecting now. Buy it now on Etsy.
That'd be kind of cool.
I'll buy
Whoa.
5.
All right.
I wouldn't mind having myself like a little Arlo, like a little puppet, like that YouTuber guy Arlo.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remember. It was this thing called. Okay, this like predates Super Mario Logan by like a long shot. It was called Skippy, or Skippy's Mega Battles. It was like because back in the day, someone said like recommend I look up Darth Vader versus Hitler on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
This is
I love
like back. This is like back in the middle school days. And I found the rap battle. It's like, yeah, I saw the rap battle. It's like, no, 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 not that one. Look up Skippy, Darth Vader versus Hitler, and it's this guy with like a really weird voice, with like a really deep, like grungy voice with a puppet talking about just coming up with a story. It sounds like on the fly about Darth Vader versus Hitler. So it's just like it's like next thing you know, big old Darth Vader's coming down in his big old spaceship because space is engulfed with flames. Just like
Oh,
rambling incoherently for like 5 minutes with like stock images and stuff.
That's the best type of videos. Yeah.
It's like the most 2008 thing ever.
I love it.
All right.
I'll have to link that. If it's
I
still on
linked it
YouTube,
for
it
you.
might be deleted. What?
I found one. I found it. I think it's that one. It has like see, it begins with like
Yeah, that's the
like
one.
yeah, okay.
Skippy.
Scooby.
They also did like Care Bears versus the 7 dwarves. Who's just like, you got 7 dwarves, one named Floopy, another one named Loopy, and another one named Stanley.
All
Time
right.
to subscribe.
Okay. I guess it's just my turn. Uh, I guess just to mention a couple of things is I'm surprised someone mentioned. Well, I guess someone did Avenue Q. Uh,
Yeah,
very
very very loosely, but it's cool.
is a very cool musical. Uh, I like there's this one part of the musical where they ask for money from the audience and actually pass out
Oh.
like a hat to collect money from the audience.
Oh god.
I'd love to see like more musicals and live shows make use of puppetry.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see.
Give me.
And going from that tangent of having a queue, I remember going to Disney World and seeing this one Nemo show where they use like puppets of the characters that
And they had
are
people like dressed up in like skins tight suits or something.
yes.
No, that sounds creepy.
And
They did it like Lion King style, where like you can obviously tell that they're people, but they're like carrying
Yeah.
around
carrying
elements of the
out
costume.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I always thought those puppets were really cool, especially the fuck what's his name, the Stoner Turtle. Like it's just this really huge ass piece. Uh, very like it's like amazing. I remember young me being really impressed by it.
Yeah.
Uh, what what else? There's in the notes someone mentioned Furbies, and the only thing I had to say about that is that they're evil and
No,
they're
wrong.
spawn of the
No.
devil. They're probably there to kill you. Okay.
No, they're
Listen. I don't trust. Like, I understand why people wouldn't trust the new ones because they got all the new Black Mirror microchips in them. But the
Oh
old
yeah,
ones,
those are.
but the old ones ain't. But the old ones ain't. The old ones ain't do nothing to nobody.
The
They aren't
old
my thing. They aren't my thing personally. But you know what? People, they make some people happy, and I'm happy for them.
They're,
Yeah.
the old ones had the soul of Satan inside of them. Okay, they're all
But you
evil.
never gonna sleep.
You ever think about maybe they were using them to trap a little bit of Satan so he couldn't have his full power?
Yeah. Protect us.
True, true.
Exactly.
And
It's like that's why there's actually laws in some countries where you're not allowed to collect Furbies because you can't have too many of them in one spot because it's too powerful.
they're too
Oh, like
powerful.
the Infinity Stones.
And got
like the
collect
Shingon Wu.
collect all the Furbies.
Yes. And have
Yeah.
all the ultimate power.
All right.
There's a Shaolin Showdown going right now over a rare Furby.
Oh.
Okay, I got like two last things. Hollow Slayer also want to mention Steve the Puppet by Irate Gamer.
Oh, Minecraft Puppet Steve.
Minecraft Puppet Steve. Like I never seen it, so I'm not sure.
You really don't need to. All you need to know is Irate Gamer is doing toy reviews as Minecraft Puppet Steve, and that's the joke.
That's the joke.
Oh.
And then last thing is actually another last thing is anyone remember that weird Winnie the Pooh show where there were old puppets?
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I remember a Blue's Clues thing with puppets, but I don't know about
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I think it was like
I
early 2000s. They had a Winnie the Pooh series where they were just all like they seemed slightly animatronic, but I know they were just puppets of
yeah.
Winnie the Pooh characters.
I have a really weird memory connected to that.
Oh, I think there's a Scooby-Doo one as well. I think. I might be wrong.
Because there was because I was in kindergarten at the time, and there was an episode of like that Puppets Winnie the Pooh show that was about like school bus safety, and I feel like I don't know if I'm remembering this right or not, but I still remember it so clearly. So like I was in kindergarten and we were gonna watch like this like Puppet Winnie the Pooh thing about bus safety, and they put the VHS tape in the player, and for some reason they had to like fast forward through a section, and I guess they like recorded it when it aired on TV or something, but they're like fast forwarding through the tape and it shows like security cam footage from a subway as they're like fast forwarding through, and like the teachers just play it off like, do you think those people know how to ride a bus? And everyone in the class just goes, no. So they just found like a subway security tape and they used it to record a Winnie the Pooh special.
Damn. All right, and then last thing I had is I'm surprised no one mentioned the Jeff Dunham show in Comedy Central. Like I only seen a couple episodes of that. It's kind of just meh, really.
You're forgetting about Ahmed Saves America.
Ahmed Saves America.
A movie.
Wait, that was a movie?
Yeah.
It's a movie.
That's the best way I can describe that. It's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yes.
It's animation.
That's
Yes.
all I need to know.
Yes.
It's animation.
It's a thing. That's it.
That's all you need.
It's watchable. Question mark.
Yeah.
Two-thirds of the world's most famous ventriloquists came from America's Got Talent.
Damn.
Or actually, no, 3/4 because because like there's 4 big ventriloquists, and like 3 of those 4 came from America, became famous because of America's Got Talent.
Nice of them. Poggers. All right.
Poggers. Oh, we forgot about the
Oh,
Chuck E. Cheese
shit,
puppet.
Oh my god! A classic!
Poggers.
Poggers and
Poggers.
dead silence. Dead silence while Chuck E. Cheese just shakes
I don't
uncontrollably.
understand. Yeah, he like goes poggers in the camera, and he just like looks back at the screen, and he opens his mouth to the sounds of the Fall Guys going, oh. Well, I don't understand why Chuck E. Cheese is still doing animatronics. Why don't they just go to holograms?
No,
Didn't
it's not the same.
didn't they go bankrupt? Like is Chuck E. Cheese
Cheese?
even?
I think they're I think either they. I don't think they went fully bankrupt. I think right now they're restructuring because they have like a shell company that they use to sell pizza on Grubhub.
The man,
Finally,
squat
I can eat Chuck E. Cheese pizza at my
It's
own
like
house.
it's like
Pasquale's, I think it is.
yeah, Pasquale's Pizza. If you go to it's like Pasquale's Pizza on Grubhub and like other food delivery apps, but it's just Pizza Hut, not Pizza Hut. It's just Chuck E. Cheese pizza with like in a different box.
Poggers.
Which like I could see that being a thing. I see how that could be a good idea.
All right, we'll move on to Pale. You got anything for miscellaneous?
A lot of it's like little bits of animatronic puppetry, but here's one that's puppets. And it's not really it's sort of like a music video, but it's not like a new song.
Whoa.
It's more like a combination of their song. It's just like the ABBA, the last video. It's just like them as puppets trying to get picked up by a studio.
Yeah.
They're puppets, and that's all you need.
Okay, here we go. I gotta put this GIF in the chat real quick just so you guys can see this live. This is actually insane. I don't know if I put it in the chat yet or not.
Which chat? Let me see.
The podcast. Oh yeah, the thing you mentioned earlier.
Oh
yeah,
the Bell animatronic.
It looks so good.
Yes.
I don't even know how. That's like witchcraft.
Yes. Good witchcraft.
Yeah, I want to go to Tokyo Disney so bad.
Yeah.
I wanna go to all the Disneys.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Audience.
If I could afford it, I would buy all your tickets.
Audience, donate to the podcast. You know,
yeah.
Send us all to Disney.
100th episode special live from Disney.
Live from Disney.
Yes. And I'll send golf feet pics. Yes. Please.
Yes.
You heard it here.
What we're gonna do is you're gonna put on a big boot. You gotta put on a big boot so your feet will start to like smell, and you put coins in the boot, and you'll only remove your foot when the boot is filled with enough money to buy the tickets.
Okay. Y'all already mentioned one. It's a theme park thing. It's that thing that Alex mentioned about the Enchanted Tiki Room in Disneyland Tokyo with the Stitch.
Yes.
I thought that's neat.
I want them to bring that to the parks in the U.S.
Yes,
because they have a full English dub recorded because they have like if you request it, they will give you like an audio device so you can hear a full English dub of the show. Bring it to the United States. I beg of you.
I must see it. Oh, that reminds me of that one Stitch experience in Disney.
Stitch's Great Escape.
Great Escape, the thing that replaced probably one of the scariest attractions Disney ever had.
That is one reason why they replaced it, but another reason was because one of the starring people in the ride was found out to be a pedophile.
Oh no.
So we're just like, oh, okay, so people aren't really the biggest fan of this, and this ride has a pedophile in it, so
goodbye.
Yeah.
They could have just replaced him. I just needed to go there just once. I just wanted to go there just once when I went there. It wasn't there.
Just looking at like the dead Stitch animatronics, like I'm gonna get you out of there.
Yes. Hey.
I will save you.
I will save him.
Although there is a little bit of Pale, how do you feel about Toothless?
I love Toothless.
Okay, because I think it's worth noting that there's also going to be a How to Train Your Dragon Land at the new Universal Park.
Ooh, nice.
And you can tell that like Toothless was designed by the same people as Stitch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
They got that look to them. This is very good.
Love Stitch more.
Yeah. I love that one scene with him like making a little sandcastle and putting a leaf on top.
Yes, that's where I was like, wait, Stitch? Is that you?
He's so good. Even like, and when he like puts the little leaf on top, he puts his hands in the air like, I did it.
Aw, adorable. Anyway, anything else you want to say, Pale?
yeah, I was just like little animatronic stuff like Child's Play. They used the animatronic puppet for Chucky. They made several. Like
Yeah.
they made one for like when he was like attacking Andy's mom, like the one that just shake. They made
Oh
one like
yeah.
that. It was like a lot of different stuff. It's really interesting.
Yeah. They had a
Um.
Chucky show at Halloween Horror Nights,
Oh.
where it was just like a guy with like a puppet, and for some reason the only jokes the guy playing Chucky, he could only make like really misogynist and racist jokes throughout the whole thing, and it was really
Oh,
awkward and
I think
uncomfortable.
I've seen like a clip of that. I was like, oh no.
It's like really weird.
Are
Oh.
you surprised?
I mean,
No, I shouldn't be surprised. Oh.
I guess Chucky is kind of a horrible person, so it lines
Yeah.
up, but at the same time, like I don't know, it just seems really like weird.
that, that I'm fine with child murder, but I draw the line at racism.
Yes.
It's like the in Harley Quinn when Dr. Psycho gets canceled for using the C word.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It's just like Lex Luthor comes out saying like what we do not approve of Dr. Psycho's actions. They do not fall in line with our brand of evil.
Or Brady.
So good.
That show is great, man. But, say,
They're also making a Child's Play series this fall on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh yeah, they are.
oh really?
That'll be cool to see.
Yes.
I wonder
Here's
what
that
they
it
can do.
doesn't suck. I
Oh.
hear that it doesn't suck.
I wonder what they can do with a Child's Play series. You know.
There could be like you could have like a cool anthology type deal with that.
Yeah, they're gonna try to work on like some backstory with the character Charles Lee Ray. After like it takes place after Cult of Chucky.
Oh, okay.
And like Curse of Chucky did a little bit of like Charles Lee Ray backstory stuff, so
Right.
they're taking some of that and like saying, oh, Chucky's gonna be in this town and he's gonna be chaotic in this town and oh no, be careful, kiddos.
Because the Chuck is here.
Yes.
All right. I guess we can move on.
Wait, I'm sorry.
You got something else to say,
Yes,
Phil? Okay.
I was gonna say, in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory film, they had an actor, Deep Roy, but for several scenes they used animatronics. Like for like the boat scene, like I think they made like around 50 for like the boat scene and stuff like that, or like scenes where like they were like with the actors, like that one scene where like my TV gets like yeeted in the TV.
Yeah, with like the weird dancing.
Yeah, it's great.
I kind of love how like just uncanny and weird parts of that movie are.
I love it.
It's like and like no one in the movie acts like a real person acts.
Nope.
Nope.
All
So it's-
spoiled kids.
I know that there's like one last thing I have to mention is like at Disney they have like an experimental thing they're doing with like costumed characters where they actually have like fully animated eyes and mouths, so they'll actually like respond to questions and stuff, which that was always something really uncanny that I didn't like about walk around characters in costumes. They never speak. That always like struck me as odd. So I hope that technology continues to advance.
One day. Oh shoot! There's one more music video. It I'm probably pronouncing the band wrong. It's Interpol Evil. It's got like a
Whoa.
puppet guy and he's creepy looking. I had to look it up because I forgot the name.
What, are you talking about Chip the Black Boy?
I don't know what that is.
Is blaming on Jorge again.
I think maybe he mentioned it. It's been a while. I haven't seen anything YouTube in a hot minute except ASMR to sleep.
He has like this squeaky voice, and it was like,
I put it in the podcast.
Nope, that's
Put
not
it in
it.
the. No. Okay. No. It's a different thing.
I have to watch that later.
But that looks terrifying though.
Yes. It is terrifying. I think that's it for all I got. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Royal Foil, I know you said that we could skip you, but do you think of
Yeah,
anything?
yeah. So I know it's kind of not really puppet related, but if there was an animated Muppet show like now, it'll be Bob's Burgers pretty much. All that reminds me of is like Muppets.
All right. Okay. I think that's everyone. Anyone wants to say any last words before we end
Um,
this?
Penis.
No, that's lewd.
anything can be a puppet if you shove that hand deep enough.
Oh no!
I'm,
Ooh, that is true.
Does
I'm slowly dying.
isn't that the plot of a horror movie or a thriller movie?
A
What's it called?
horror
Dead
movie.
Silence.
That would be kind of a, I don't know, that could be like, that sounds like a trauma movie. Like a serial killer that goes around shoving his hands so far up people it turns them into puppets.
Ugh.
It sounds like a B
That
movie.
didn't happen in Ice Cream Man. I remember that. I think.
Oh yeah, that did happen in Ice Cream Man.
Mr.
He like
Ice Cream.
he put like he put people's heads on sticks and started using them as puppets.
Yeah, like
All right.
That movie was weird. I hope we get some. I hope we can. I probably should watch that new Nickelodeon thing too.
Mhm.
I'd love to see more puppet stuff get made. It's always interesting to see because it's relatively rare compared to other forms of media.
Yeah, I get you.
Like I'd love to see a puppet based game. That'd be kind of cool.
Uh, Puppet best. Hmm.
Like
That
even if it's just like a quick time event, like story driven game.
there, there's probably like maybe like click a what's it called? Click click adventure type
Yeah,
game. There's
Oh, yeah.
probably one, but like I'm not sure.
It's just
I know
not.
there's like there's gonna be a puppet character. Have you guys seen Billy Bust Up?
Nope.
I don't
No.
think so.
It's like it's gonna be well, it's being kickstarted right now. I think it's met its goal, but they're planning for it to be a musical 3D platformer. And one of the enemies is like a marionette, voiced by the voice of Angel Dust.
Nice.
Ah, that's cool. But I just remembered something. Oh, I hate myself. Okay, I just remembered. Goosebumps, Slappy the dummy.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Bro, I remember that so vividly. I remember the ending of the second
Mhm.
book.
Second movie? Oh,
Really
the book.
freaked me out as a kid.
Yeah.
Cause like either that, cause uh, so Slappy's terrorizing this kid and whatnot, and in the end, his previous puppet
Mhm.
saves him from Slappy and like breaks Slappy's head and whatnot. Uh,
Oh.
and then like the kid's like, oh yeah, thanks I think it was his father. I'm not sure. But in reality, the it was his previous doll was alive the entire time and just saved him, and like that freaked me out as a kid because like how the fuck was he alive the entire time? Did he live when Slappy like was technically born in that story?
Think so. Probably. Oh
Uh,
oof.
no.
Is
I think that's. That's an episode on the Goosebumps show. I
is
think they
the
made it into an.
is the
I know he was
only
voiced by Jack Black in the movie.
yeah
Yes.
is the only
Surprisingly fitting.
is the only goosebump story that actually gave me goosebumps at the end.
ooh,
Oh, there we go. There's the trailer for Billy Bust Up. It's got one of the songs in it. It's pretty good.
Alright. I'll look at this later.
Yeah. Anything
I
else?
think uh I think we might be tapped out.
Tapped out. All right. And okay, YouTube.
It's been like 3 hours, so
Remember.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
Wow.
Remember
over
to.
3 hours.
Oh my god.
Damn, man.
Even longer.
What is time?
What is time?
I don't know. I don't
Uh.
have that kind of.
Okay. All right. Remember YouTube. Donate to the podcast so we can all go to Disney. You know.
Yes.
Yes. Go to Disney. Go to Tokyo Disney Sea and
To
Tokyo Disneyland.
Tokyo
Just
Disney.
go to let's go to Tokyo. Let's have trouble in Tokyo.
Hell yeah. My
Tokyo. Really.
Pack your bags, gang. We're headed to Tokyo.
Woohoo.
Hell yeah. But yeah, my name is Occult Tuner. This is the Cable Trash Cast. See you later.
Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Stay
got-
tuned. Same bat channel, same bat time.
You guys want to say?
Bye.
You guys want to say
Bye.
goodbyes?
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning
Woomify.
in. Thank you all for coming. Eat plenty of Krabby Patties.
Arr.
Or
Oh, nice. On point.
Royal's gifted voice actor apparently did a spot on Peter Griffin and now Mr. Krabs.
Yes.
Mr. Krabs. All right. Yeah. See you next time, YouTube.
Bye.
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 Goodbye, YouTube.
Bye.